avast, ahoy, and g'day once again to ye mateys! I be your tranquil as a forest, but a fire within, DM Josh the Pirate, and it brings me more satisfaction than figuring out how to get an arrow out of the top of a wooden pole whilst carrying some heavy weights to welcome me back to Corsair's Cove and my Humblewood world for the next part of a new story, a little short story of Hearts and Homes. We weren't anticipating coming back to this, but, you know, Brandon has provided us the perfect excuse by not being available for the next 3 weeks, because mental health is important and I cannot support it enough. So, Quad has just redeemed an inspiration this minute. That's very kind of you, Quad. Well, the only one who hasn't got one quadrupedary is Julio, so maybe we are gifting it to Julio. I don't know, your call. Could
all
be
the
me,
DM
but, you know, all the DM
spicy.
if you're feeling real spicy.
Nah, I didn't need it.
With me, above me and around me, I have my hearty crew, the amiable Daria surname redacted, the benevolent Mr. John Best, the convivial Karen Schlink, and our special guest for this evening, the demonstrative Zach the Renegade Chicken. So let's talk about these lovely folks, shall we? Daria, who the heck are you?
Today, I am Julio the Unkillable. I am
You like
First
that?
of all, as we discussed before the stream started, I cannot possibly die in this campaign, so I'm going to be the biggest asshole, the biggest cocky shit.
Killing you is going to be so much fun. Coming up with a reason why he's not dead in the future is not, but...
I just received an inspiration, so my cock is immeasurable and my self-worth is thriving. I'm also an artist, and I'm hireable. I'm not as unhinged when I'm working, I promise. So you can trust me with your illustration or D&D portraits or some such, because I made the ones you see on screen. The end.
Ow.
Oh, wow.
Strong start.
Yeah, John, who the heck are you? Fuck.
Wow, not as confident as Daria, that's for sure. I'm John. I'm playing Bron here in this campaign. Yeah, kind of recently joined. But yeah, just looking forward to a fun time of D&D with me buddies online tonight.
Okay.
Survived a day of 80% humidity. Woohoo.
Oh.
Yeah, and like 36 degrees, so that's fun.
And Terrace, similar reaction to your just comment in chat. Oh gosh. Karen, who the heck are you?
Hi, I'm Karen, sometimes known as the mother of sometimes
Like I siphoned everyone's confidence into the
I'm Karen, sometimes known as the mother of buddies. I'm a performer, a writer, an internet addict, and quite possibly cooked beyond all recognition after our little heat wave. It's been fun. I love sweating from every part of my body. But we're
the quotes
here.
tonight. I love sweating. My cock is immeasurable. This is just we're like 5 minutes in.
We've already got favourite moments for 2 people.
And while I may not be a man, I would argue that I am as swift as a coursing river, with all the strength of a great typhoon.
Yep.
But only like mentally, physically. That's
Swift as a frozen river. Physically, that's me usually.
just a frozen river. With all the force
Glacier.
of a gentle breeze.
And Zach,
What's the
who
next
the heck
line?
are you?
Hi, I'm Zach. I have managed to finagle my way back onto another stream yet again, and I will continue to do so until they eventually kick me out. But yeah, back playing Kingsley again. Very much looking forward to it.
Hell
Sometimes. Yeah, I homebrew things sometimes, but it's been a while, so I wouldn't hold your breath.
Fair enough.
Everything's like your mystery character.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Me
sorry.
couldn't be. Then who? Yeah, it was me. I be Josh the Pirate. You can find me here on my channel, Corso's Cove, where I run D&D and other RPG-related games with my lovely wife, Karen, the mother of bunnies, and all my splendid friends. I have just purchased a large quantity of one-page D&D or one-page RPG games that I'm going to be having a look at next week on the Tactics Monday or Tuesday. I believe if you hurry, you might still be able to purchase them, because Crisp and Crunch put them up in our Discord over on Corso's Cove in the Hung, Drawn, and Quartered. This was... Oh, no, it'll have expired by now. Unfortunately, it was yesterday at 6:10. It was exactly a day ago, and they expired about 4 hours ago, I think. The birthday bundle. But I did get it. So if you want to come and hang out and play more board games and card games, I acquired them. Yeah, check that shit out. And I suppose that brings us neatly on to our... We do this for the Trookans. It brings us on to our Discord, actually. If you want to come and join us there, helpful things like that often get slapped up there. When fun people see fun things, they put them up, and other people can acquire said fun things. We also have a YouTube, where you can check out all the episodes you may have missed, including the two-shot about Julio, Bron, and Kingsley. But now we're going back in time. Woo! Back to their teenage years. Yes, we're doing teens in Espinora. And Conan also gets slapped up there. Conan gets slapped up a lot. We also have all of these socials! ! Socials. If you want to follow us on any of those. We also have, the YouTube has got Conan reviews up there as well. The latest one, The Druid, I'm quite proud of. I'm getting better at have funny animatics along with it as well. I'm pretty proud of the Druid one. It's pretty silly. All right. Well, guys, what else do we need to talk about? Karen, could you take us through briefly the Gaza situation?
Oh, speaking of mental health, knowing too much about this is doing nothing for my mental well-being. But if you would like to do a little bit to help alleviate the really shitty situation over there, the link in chat is for the Save the Children emergency appeal for Gaza. If you have any spare pennies in your digital wallet, please do chuck them over there. Every little bit helps. And if you're feeling a bit poor at the moment, rather like myself, the second link is for the what's it called? Oxfam, there we go, is for the Gaza crisis petition through Oxfam, which is pressuring the Australian government to call for ceasefire and provide further humanitarian aid. And just underneath that is the emergency action appeal for Ukraine, which, if you are able to, would also be great for you to donate to, because there's just a lot of war and death and
there's a lot of bullshit going on in the world, and if we can help in any way, that'd be glorious.
I'm definitely not practicing escapism through D&D.
Terrace.
No one on this channel is, no.
Terrace, in answer to your question, where do we get Conan? The original Conan was purchased in Hamleys in London. However, I do think you can get them online. We did acquire another one from the...
you at least you could get them on eBay as well for much cheaper. I should add, the Hamleys one was marked up pretty significantly.
It was quite a lot, and that was a while ago. Anonymous Gifter has gifted 5 gifted subs to the channel, which is bloody generous. Thank you so much, you anonymous gifter, you. Hype indeed. Thank you very much to El Furious, Southern Skies AU, Gravity, Crichton, and Zudash.com. Daria scores a cheeky little one. Good on you. Thanks very much, buddy. You know what? Yeah, excellent. Thank you very much. And seeing as I don't know who you are, I can't gift anybody anything, but they've already had plenty of presents today. So, on a blueprint for a large shoulder dragger. I know, right, Terrace? I want one. Let me know how that goes for you. We also, before we go any further, I must remind I did the things, but I didn't actually... Oh, never mind. We'll do it next week. So, mateys, May rival adventurers take curse warnings seriously, and all your backstories contain tasty morsels for your DM to torment you with, as we head tremulously at first, and then with mounting heated passion into the Everden. So, yes, we are going back in time a little bit. We find ourselves some 25 years back in time, as far as the current settings canon is concerned, in a dark and stormy night. Always a good time to start a little story. And in lightning cuts the rain-drenched sky in twain for just a split second. Gosh, that's very loud. The ink-black scenery is lit in dazzling shades of blue and red, and then it is dark again. Yet, in that fleeting moment, a Marin raptor can be seen above an unfamiliar port city. Ragged and weary, barely able to stay aloft in the raging wind, he descends towards the lighthouse he glimpsed in the lightning's flash. As he tilts his wings downward, this traveller, dressed practically in rags, feels the air tingle with energy. He glances upward and braces himself, squeezing his eyes tight for a moment that stretches into eternity. The lightning's flash is blinding. For a single instant, the stranger's body reels in agony. Then there is only the sickly aroma of charred feathers as he plummets to the earth. Down and down he falls, landing hard in a patch of shrubs outside the lighthouse, whose flame bravely flickers against the gloom. Tiny feet scamper down the stone stairs of the lighthouse before its creaking wooden door slams open. Aloani Lum, the hedge lighthouse keeper, sees the smouldering form of the fallen raptor and gasps in horror before rushing back inside. She returns moments later with bandages, ointments, and a blanket, moving as fast as her stubby legs will carry her. Praying to the amaranthines as she works, Aloani applies salves to the stranger's still smoking body. She rolls him onto the blanket and, with great effort, hauls him up the stairs and into her home. For the next week, Aloani stays by his side, save for brief trips into town for food and medicine. Then, one moonless night, the bells sound to announce an arrival of a ship in the harbour. The ship flies no colours, and its construction is unfamiliar. A group of people, mostly Vulpins, emerge from the strange vessel, bearing blackened bows and wearing cloaks that seem to melt into the shadow. No sooner than they arrive, they vanish among the buildings, and their ship sets sail again, disappearing into the dark.
Well, that was atmospheric.
Yes.
Wow.
There it is. Avium Ambulance. A couple of weeks later, the dazzling rays of the late afternoon sun find a group of teenagers and an elegant priestess heading to the Rose Hip Tea House, one of the most famous eateries in Espinora. The scent of fruit, herbs, and incense fills the air, eclipsing the scent of salt that permeates the streets. 24 birdfolk and humblefolk sit in comfort near the cozy fireplaces of the tea house, sharing quiet conversations while a bard tunes her guitar from the stage in the corner. Mistress Iskander, the priestess of Nabar, and the Eliran mistress of the local orphanage, leads her charges to a table by the door, indicated by a well-dressed Luma man. Each has done something of note to earn this special treat, something that would normally be well outside the means of the mistress of an orphanage. So, what do we see when they somewhat gingerly take their seats? Or rather, who do we see?
Well, you see a very young Julio without the eye covering. His both eyes are still in place, without the toupee. By the way,
What?
no toupee, just a normal little furry Gerbine head.
No breasts?
No breasts, no toupee, no covering on
melons.
the eye. He's yet to find his personal style.
Right.
So yeah, but he's wearing a pretty pretty scuffed leather vest that acts as a little bit of an armor, but mostly it's just like for little pockets and such. A pretty like off-color, off-white old shirt under it, and little jorts, well, like capri trousers with his little feetsies flopping everywhere. And he is excited to be here. He is would you say like 16 when this happens? Yep, about 16. So he's like excitedly looking around at different people, and as soon as they sit down, just like immediately starts scanning the menu for both curiosities and inspiration.
Excellent. How about Bron?
Quite the opposite. Like, there is a tall and lanky, like, beanpole of Vulpin with like shirt half untucked and like slouching. Maybe he's got like some hair that's flopped down over his eyes that he keeps going to try and like move it. He is not really looking around, kind of hands in pockets and kicking the ground. And kind of sits down and just I guess looks around a little bit, maybe glances at the menu. So in contrast to the past couple of episodes, no armor, nothing like that. No little cross things, just shirt, pants. That's about it.
Yeah, no worries. How about Kiki?
Kiki is a little Luma girl wearing a slightly shabby tunic and trousers. She is a Nicobar pigeon, which I discovered what is very recently, which is a very cool looking pigeon. So on her head she has kind of blue-grey feathers, but then her wings have a mixture of kind of copper, yellow and green. So she's quite colourful. And if you look at just the right moment, you'll spot a similarly coloured beetle hidden on her shoulder, usually concealed slightly behind a feather. And this is Bo, her pet beetle. And she also has a set of panpipes that she carries with her.
Is it a miniature giant space beetle?
It is now.
Tells me what to do.
Yeah. That was not my intention when I named it Bo, and I only just realized I kind of walked right into that one. And Kiki is trying very hard to behave herself because she knows this is a special place. But it is really hard not to try and start sneaking cute little bits of cutlery or napkins into her pocket to admire.
Yep. And what about Kingsley?
Compared to the previous one shot where you guys saw Kingsley, he almost could not be more different. There is almost... He is not a particularly handsome or beautiful looking chicken, unlike last time. None of the muscles are there. He is similarly lanky to Bron, but probably a little shorter. The wattles, which I learned are the name for the things that dangle down beneath a rooster's beak, and his comb are kind of droop slightly, and they are not the brilliant red that you would have seen previously, but you do see a couple of little flecks of that gold creeping into some of the edges of his feathers that was there previously. And his clothes probably look the worst or most disheveled, but he seems determined to make them look the best he can. And his, in contrast, despite the fact that they are torn and sort of repaired in certain spots as best he could manage, and look quite shabby, almost without wrinkle. The shirt's all buttoned up and tucked in, and he's trying to carry himself with pride.
Love it. The team master, the head brewer, team master Christoph Laszlo, a Houdengallus and an old friend of Mistress Iskander's, bustles over to lead the youngsters in their first tea ceremony. So, I understand you have brought some of your promising youngsters to me, Caspia. He sort of leans in and they do the French mwah, mwah. What did they do to earn such privilege? And Caspia says, oh, well, why don't you tell him, boys and girl? And yeah, he looks curious, yeah.
Well, I didn't do much, to be honest. A couple of days ago, remember when there was like a very big wind outside? So Lady Caspia was washing her ceremonial robes, and she put it on a thread to dry, and wind started carrying it away. So I kind of jumped over some rooftops and grabbed it before it got swept away out of the town, and brought it home.
And Caspia sort of gives him a side eye and says, it was a little bit more exciting than that, but it was very impressive and I was grateful. The team master chuckles and looks at the rest of you.
Yeah, well, I guess it wasn't much, but there was these two travelers at the bar, and one of them was hurt, and I kind of stayed to look after them, while the other one, ran off and got help, and some guys came around, but I made sure they didn't steal his stuff. That's
Very
what I did.
heroic.
No, I just kind of stood there, really. It wasn't much, but, I think anyone would have done it.
He was kind, and that is always worth rewarding. Master Laszlo bows and nods deeply and says, of course. Very wise. And then looks at the other two.
Amusingly, the story I decided in my head was eerily similar to Julio's story. So I'm just going to quickly come up with something else on the
something
fly.
new up, yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you want a bit of time?
If you've got something, you go.
I think Kingsley has sort of been looking around and sort of trying to urge others to speak, but when it seems that no one will for a moment, looks towards the tea master, but then will just sort of avert his eyes downwards and just I took a pilgrimage into the woods, and I spoke to one of the Amaranthines.
Whoa.
What?
That's cool.
You didn't tell us.
What passes between someone and an Amaranthine is private, Julio.
Sure. That's so cool. I don't think I'll ever talk to an Amaranthine.
I think
No, probably not. Oh,
Never go to a wedding either.
I think Kingsley just gets a massive smile when you say that it's cool. He's living for it.
Very impressive.
One of the other orphans was crying a lot, and so I showed them how to play these, which they did for hours.
Again, kindness is what is being rewarded, not subjecting all of us to untrained panpipes, but
Worked a little too well.
they're getting better. So, you know why I have brought them, though, Laszlo? And Master Laszlo says, of course, as you are each, technically, the first of your families, it is right that you should know your family's blend. But, as you are in this somewhat fortunate, perhaps even, you get the freedom to choose your family's blend. You are the first. Tradition would have it, and I will not have anyone who is not knowing what their own family's blend is. So, today, I shall teach you the tea making.
Cool.
Which is, you would know, a popular tradition in Espinora, but one that you have not really been able to participate in. Due to, lacking a family blend. The ceremony requires much pouring and steeping and waiting, as well as a period of introspection, with several kettles needed to be brought as experiments with flavor and texture are made. What do you think your character's blends would be?
Oh.
Hang on, I'm
You
just
should
gonna
have given
quickly
us time to
Google like
prepare.
different tea ingredients.
I reckon, just off the top of my head, I reckon it would be something like mint, something refreshing in flavor, but not thin. Like it's not a green tea. It's like the tannicity. I'm sure that's a word.
Yep.
Of a black tea, but it's like refreshing in flavor and light and minty and fruity.
Cool. Hells yeah.
I think Kingsley's would probably be rather thin. I think that it would be, if he could manage it, I think his primary focus would have been making it as red as he could in terms of color, and then putting some sort of powerful aromatic into it, like a lavender or something like that, that you'd be able to smell from a long way away, but the actual taste of it is probably pretty bland.
Interesting.
For Julio, it's probably gonna be a bit of an herbal tea, so it's like a little bit of berry flavor, slightly tart.
Very nice.
Sorry, could you give me that one more time, Julio?
It's a little tart.
A bland cranberry tea.
Cranberry tea, yes, exactly.
Yeah, look, Tony, you know how my internet
his
goes.
tea to be what's the word I'm looking for?
It's all about show, not substance.
Yeah.
Oh no, you didn't hear us.
I didn't. I lost
exactly. Yeah. It's about show, not substance.
Daria, I lost you on the second half of your description, I'm afraid.
Yeah, get fucked, it is. I'm not explaining again. No, I swear.
I'm loving
Problem is
this.
the audience didn't hear it either.
Oh, bitch. Okay, fine. So I forgot that the audio is connected through your internet.
Yeah.
So yeah, Julio's tea would be like hawthorn tea, so berry flavored tea, like sweet and tart, and with a little bit of honey in there.
Hells yeah. Love it. Sweet and tart with a bit of honey. Excellent. Karen?
I am busy overthinking this massively. But which I think is appropriate for Kiki, who immediately comes up with the most complicated way to do this possible.
Yeah.
And essentially she's trying to come up with a ingredient for each of the different colours feathers she has.
Oh.
Wow.
So I'm just trying to find because what do we need? We need.
What are the colors? Tell us.
Sorry, guys. Everyone, hold up. I gotta do this.
It's sort of like an oil slick.
Copper, yellow, green, and blue. Yeah.
There is a thing called blue tea, by the way.
Oh,
that
really?
exists. Yep.
So we
blue
could do
tea.
lavender for the blue.
Could you like mint or something for the green?
They use pea flowers for the blue tea.
Oh, you could do a.
That's nice.
Pea flowers.
What if
that
it was
sounds
like a
lovely.
matcha? Got like a bright green
Ooh,
base.
Yes.
Mm.
So matcha, like a matcha tea, and we'll put some sweet pea for the blue.
This guy says a flame floater for the top. Gives you an orange.
Ooh,
Hell yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Maybe
I
some
think-
lemon zest for the yellow.
I
Yeah?
think Kiki
Just
is like
what goes well with green, what goes well in matcha.
Kiki is fussing over this, and Laszlo, like the rest of you, have hit upon the recipe within about 2 or 3 attempts, and Kiki is like, going like, oh, I don't know, like she's not wrong, and Laszlo is not in any way going like, I don't think you're like, I think you're overthinking it. He goes, no, I understand what you're trying to do. He says, I think I perhaps, and he pulls out not a non-standard tea ingredient, like he's brought a huge variety, but out comes a small hip flask, and pours a tot onto what she's already added, and then clicks his fingers, and it just flashes into flame.
Whoa.
And you get just this wisp of flame, and the entire thing changes color slightly. You get a yellow rim around the edge, basically. And he says, is this what you were looking for?
Oh, that's so pretty.
He says,
I didn't
and it
know we could
removes
add
all
alcohol.
of. He says he looks at Iskander and says, and it removes all the alcohol. I am a massive fan of a strong Lapsang Souchon as well, Tony. Hails, yeah. Smells like burnt wood.
Yeah.
See, I put in flame floater, and you just get tea lights.
Yeah. Laszlo has left you to your creations and a plate of sandwiches as the sun begins to set. In the corner, the bard has finally struck up a tune. I sing a song for gloomy days, for the guardian of shadowed ways. One day upon the coast I walked, hearing hushed whispers and fearful talk. And in the shadows I swear I heard a shadowy beast speak a chilling word. The name of Kren, that tricksy villain, whose heartless cunning brings folks to ruin. Since day's first dawning she's been this way, with wiles to lead e'en the dawn astray. There is polite applause. That is interrupted.
Did they say Kren as a she?
Yes.
Is that true?
Did I miss that fully in our campaign?
Kren is either way. Hard to say.
Okay.
Some depictions are male, some are female. Yeah. The polite applause is interrupted by a harried-looking hedge lady bursting through the door, disrupting the tranquility of the tea house. Looking concerned rather than ruffled or affronted, Laszlo bustles over and engages her in conversation, a frown creasing his brow. He then nods, and everything sort of settles back down again. He talks to her for a couple of minutes, and then he, if any of you are paying attention, and I imagine the 4 of you are fairly investigative individuals, the Mistress Iskander has very much gone like, mind your own business. You know what this. We are making tea. Yes.
Yes.
However, he then nods and brings the lady over to you, and she looks like this, because we're playing a thing, so I can actually show you pictures. This is Aloani Lum. She is up in the chat, in the Discord, not in the Discord, in the on the screen. Mistress, may I introduce my dear friend, Aloani Lum, Lightkeeper of Espinora. She and I have a favor to ask. Yes, Mrs. Tiggywinkle, exactly. Yes, she's so cute. And Caspia says, of course, you may ask. I would be pleased to help the Lightkeeper. I have never had the pleasure, though I have heard many things. And Aloani is clearly really quite distressed. She's sort of rubbing her hands together. Her shoulders are hunched. Her spines are up. And her bonnet is... She has the look of a lady who has... She would normally be extremely clean and well to put together. But she has not slept well in weeks, you would guess. Mistress, I shall be brief. 2 weeks ago past, a great storm washed in, and within it a raptor rolled the winds from far offshore. Just as he was reaching safety of land, he was struck by lightning, and by chance or providence, he landed in the shrubbery outside my tower. I nursed him back to health since, though his body is healed, he has yet to wake. However, you may have heard rumors of disappearances in the town. And Caspia nods, though you may not have heard. Bron. No, I will bring this up later. I believe they are connected to a group who arrived a couple of nights later, cloaked in shadow. I fear they seek this man, for those who have disappeared were all raptors, even though each has popped back up a few days later with no memory of their time away. Bron, the man you stood guard over was a Marin raptor. Oh, Tony, that sounds amazing. Micro distillery that makes whiskey that tastes like lapsang.
Oh my god, you'd never leave.
I wouldn't. That's my mouth is watering. Okay. The assistance I need is help hiding this man. Just for a few days. I will not surrender him without first hearing what he has to say. I thought perhaps your establishment, a place of holy power protected by an Amaranthine. And Caspia leans back and gives the four of you a look, like raises an eyebrow, like, what do you think? You are the oldest four of her charges. So it's not just, there is a degree of, this was timed because you all did something right recently, but also it is a rite of passage as well for her charges. Everybody gets one, you know, and it's one of the few fancy things she can expose you to, because she's friends with the guy who runs the tea house, not so much because she can afford it, but it's important to her. And she looks over the four of you. How do you respond? What are you? He's giving you a thoughts.
Yeah. Look, I think it's a good idea. We might maybe want to keep them in a place that's away from the young ones, because they talk, and if someone comes looking for them, we don't want them going to the young one's room. But otherwise, yeah, we want to hide them. We don't want people being taken.
Caspia beams at you. Caspia, you get a wave of approval from her, Bron.
Nice. I think Bron is right. Plus, I don't think many, ne'er-do-wells will look for someone in an orphanage. They would not expect them to be there, right? And, I mean, when they wake up, imagine the stories they have if they flew from far away.
We've been shown such kindness today. Perhaps we should return the favor.
Valid point, young king. And a good point, Julio.
Paying it forward, right? Paying it forward?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I have taught you well. Caspia nods and says, we shall do you one better. These four are some of my best students, and they will help you bring this poor man to us. Will you do this for me?
Yes.
Yes, Kiki.
Sorry, could I finish my tea first? I spent so long making
Master Laszlo actually says, There is no need. And he claps his hands together, and the Luma man, the well-dressed Luma man, who's sort of the maitre d' of the place, sort of just appears with a tray with 4 small paper bags on it. And each one is handed to each of you. And he says, therein is the ingredients for another serving of your concoction.
Thank you.
And a list of ingredients so that you can remember.
Like, Kiki is practically vibrating with excitement. I would also like to steal my teaspoon, please.
A sleight of hand check, I think.
Oh my god, we just got complimented. That's how we're good kids.
Look, she has compulsions, okay?
Oh my god.
That's valid.
See Karen burn her inspiration before we've even
Oh,
begun.
if this is a shit roll, you're damn right I'm burning my inspiration so I don't get busted doing this.
14.
14.
You happy
Should
with
I
the 14?
Is this contested or is this
I just rolled for he's probably not looking particularly closely, is Caspia. Yes. So Master Laszlo does not notice you. However, Caspia taps the back of your hand very briefly.
I'll slide
Just as
the
you are
spoon back
picking
on
the spoon
table.
up. Nope. I got a 5 for Laszlo and an 18 for Caspia.
Ooh.
She knows.
Yeah,
She knows.
She
Kiki.
just
knows
knows
Hello.
Kiki well. Yeah.
Look,
Do
I
we
wanted a
notice-
souvenir.
Bron may not have seen this, but I think he would say, if you're still drinking your tea, hey, Kiki, you should shut it.
Pound it.
Yeah. Look, Kiki's easily influenced, so she tries to knock back her tea.
It's
Nice.
not alcoholic.
From
It's just quite. It's quite.
yeah.
It's. I would imagine
If it was matcha based, is there still all the powder on the top?
Yeah.
Oh
It's-
no.
Oh, it would have burned off. It would have burned off with the
true.
flame.
Yeah, right. True.
But
Just get
it's
strong hiccups.
well. I think because you were aiming for look rather than taste, it is quite a powerful blend. Like it's not unpleasant, but there's a lot. So, can I get a con save to see whether or not you choke?
I love
your
that
own
these are
tea
my
blend.
first rolls.
I'm imagining a lot
steal
of
a
power
spoon.
and not a lot of blend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I'm burning my inspiration. I'm burning it.
Just a
Fuck's
lot.
sake.
Abus has gifted you a D4 as well, Karen.
Look, I'm just going to save that for later in case I need
I think it's a
Thank
good
you,
idea.
Avis,
I think that's a
because
good idea.
I don't think a 9 is going to let me knock back a cup
No.
of matcha with sweet pea, lemon, and just
And
a hint
whiskey.
of burning.
I think it's bourbon. I think it's a specific kind of bourbon. And it's got like a wood smoky quality to it. Yeah, I love it. Okay. Yeah, so Kiki it's like wow.
Oh, sorry, I didn't think she'd actually do it. Oh, sorry, Kiki.
Julio just pats her on the back a little bit to help her.
Master
get rid of the-
Laszlo valiantly doesn't laugh. And the Lightkeeper, Arloani, is too nervous and too concerned to really be paying attention. But Mistress Iskander says, "Go then, go quickly. Watch the Lightkeeper."
Oh, yeah.
I'm
We'll
going to
not let
say,
you down.
just for flavor, that I have matcha powder up my nose now, and everything smells like matcha for the rest of the day.
Yep. I'm going to say you are at disadvantage for perception checks based on smell
Damn it, should have known you.
for the next hour. Yeah.
I think Kingsley will chuckle and push his chair out as we're sort of urged to move. And as we do go to move somewhere, I think he will thank Laszlo emphatically, but probably only 25% of the tea has been drunk.
Right. Yeah, he shakes your hand and says, "Good luck, Gilchrist." And this is probably the first time, Kingsley, that you have been called Mister. Because technically you're a master right now, not a Mister. Mister is a full adult title, and yeah.
I think fully upon hearing that, like, despite the fact that he's trying to make shabby clothes work, he's also clearly, like, it looks like he's trying, like he's, but like, so I think some of his natural slouch has probably crept back in, but as soon as he's called Mister, I think he, like, straightens up a bit, and suddenly looks a little bit less short than Bron. Still shorter, but not as much, as he gains a not insignificant amount of height from straightening up, and will just towards the door.
Very well.
Kiki's going to leave with a mixture of thanks and profuse apologies for snorting matcha all over the table.
Julio will grab a little napkin, and as they all clear out, he just like smooths down the table from the powder and such. Like,
Okay, goodbye. Thank you for the tea.
I don't think Bron will. Oh, Bron will probably like gesture thanks, maybe not say it, but I think he'll be carrying Kiki's packet for her if she's still coughing her way out, because he feels bad.
Excellent. It's a good question, Return to Monkey. And I believe it was actually
on YouTube.
I've seen it.
Oh yeah, people have done the math on that.
Then no, he actually cooked a chicken and ate it. He had like a hand slappy machine.
Right.
Yeah.
I know.
So he got a really high level monk and just unleashed it on a raw chicken.
I know MythBusters did it. But I can't remember what the result was. I'm talking single punch, not multiple.
Single punch.
According to maths, you can cook a chicken by slapping it at 3,725.95 miles per hour.
The problem is,
If you
would that
slap
not
it at
destroy
just under
it?
4,000 oh, 100%. You will cook the chicken, but you'll also decimate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, you
will
get little
cease-
cooked
At what point
fragments.
does it... I think there's maybe like a split second where it's cooked and then it stops being chicken.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Alrighty, there you go. That's the answer to that question. Love the internet. All right. So
I love that immediately everyone was just like, "Yes, we are going down this rabbit hole."
I'm at my computer already. I can find out the answer to this very quickly. It's called a spell called Hadouken.
Haymaker this fucking chicken.
Alrighty. The sun has set and the shadows are lengthening when Aloane leads you out towards the sea. Her tower is on a spire of rock just west of the harbour bay, so a decent distance. The Rosehip Tea Inn is or tea house is quite a ways from the harbour. It's in one of it's in the older district, which is a fancier part, and up the hillside a little bit. So it's got a very pleasant view and receives the afternoon breeze. Espinora is a very it's very much tropical area, and it is on the southern slopes of a mountain, and I believe it was a volcano, but it is very much dormant, and the slopes are extremely like most alluvial soils, extremely rich and verdant. So the place is full of trees, and between the shade and the sea breezes, it's a really quite pleasant place to live. However, at the moment there is a sense of foreboding about the town. The shadows seem longer than they should be at this time of day. Everything is a little bit darker, and it feels almost like everybody in the town has subconsciously sensed this. There is very few people about, even at sort of, this is not late night, it's mid-evening, it's sort of probably just post-watershed. The children should be in bed, but the parents are still very much awake. And Arloani leads you out towards her tower. Can I get a perception check, please?
Ooh. We're perceiving with my
Perceiving.
+0.
My
that's a 20,
spectacular
baby.
rolls continue, so that's a 13.
13 is actually the exact number you needed for the lower end of this, but you have a 19 and a 20 from your buddies, and young Bron Hydecraft got a 15. So that's some pretty decent rolling, everybody. Good job. Oh, actually, no, not that one. So, yeah, Kiki doesn't see shit. But the other three, in fact, 15 was the number you needed. Bron, you spot a shadowy figure just before you are spotted. Who would be... I'm going to say Bron was leading the way up front first. Julio is sort of dashing to catch up. And Arloani is very clearly not a stealthy lady. She is sort of middle-aged and... Hedge are not traditionally particularly nimble individuals, and she is a very traditional Hedge in that. 2 streets later, a Strig... Bron, you see the shadowy figure you see is a Strig hidden in a doorway, clearly watching or searching for something. A couple of streets later, Julio and Kingsley almost simultaneously spot a hooded Vulpin with what seems to be mist clinging to them, apparently hunting through the deserted lanes of the port district. There is clearly people out here looking for someone, and given what you have heard, Arloani says, I think they are out looking for, if not me, then perhaps the one I am helping. We should sneak, I think.
Yes.
Stealth mode.
I have a better
engage.
idea. Julio will say to the group, just wait here a second. And Julio will grab a little bit of dirt off the street. He will gingerly leave the pocket of tea with Kingsley, grab a little bit of dirt and smother himself a little bit just to be like a bit more disheveled. And I'm trying to use my criminal background on this. I'm gonna come up to the person who seems the most like in charge, probably the person with a cold.
What I'm going to say is this is a group skill challenge. So what Daria is doing is absolutely part of it. But yeah, what would each of you do? What skill would you like to utilize to get around this issue, get around this problem, and get Arloani, who is a definite hindrance of doing it stealthily, through this and to her tower? Carry on.
What I'm gonna do is I'll just come over to that person and using Thieves' Cant, because I understand that these are ne'er-do-wells, I will say, hey mister, I know you're looking for some stuff. And for a small fee, I can tell you where to look.
Persuasion.
I'm using deception.
Deception. Yep. All right. Let's do that.
Yeah, I'm using deception. And I'm using my feature criminal contact to be on the level with them essentially.
Very well. Is deception better than persuasion for you? I thought you were you had expertise in persuasion.
No, I do not have. I have +5 in both right now.
Okay.
I'm hoping that my criminal background gives me advantage, but that's up to you.
In this situation, yeah, all right.
Thank you. I just need to not roll shit. Okay, that's a 19.
19's pretty good.
I will leave it there. I think 19 is good.
Excellent. Alrighty. So before I describe what this man does, what does anybody else do? Or are you waiting to see how this plays out?
I think Bron would try and just find the shadows and maybe usher the hedge into the less conspicuous parts of the street, if there is any.
Sure. So what skill would you use? What ability?
I'm gonna go with survival.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. roll a survival check to assist this hedge in hiding. Ooh.
You have a advantage.
You do have
I might burn that, actually.
Uh-huh.
It's even worse.
Ooh.
Nope.
Ooh.
So 11's the roll.
You can, however, roll a d4. She has cast guidance on you.
Amazing. Random d4. It's me 2, so it's 13 is the most out of all of those.
Okay. Alrighty. Interesting. Cool. Anything else, Kingsley or Kiki? You will have to make a check, but it doesn't have to be right
yes. Actually. So, are we assuming that we have all of our gear on us?
Yeah.
Awesome. I think in that case, doing the best he can, I think Kingsley's going to pull the blanket from his pack and is actually going to drape it over the top of his head, mimicking one of the robes as we sort of stick to the shadows. And I'd like to roll a performance check to try to pass the group off as being escorted by a member of these strange folks that we're trying to avoid.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting. You certainly may try. Performance check, please.
Nice, 24.
Very nice.
Nice.
Big roll, 19.
Okay, yeah. Julio, your deception check. This being, I'm going to roll opposed, but yeah, he doesn't beat a 24 or whatever it was you rolled. So, yeah. He looks down at you quizzically and says, "Sorry, I don't. My Espinoran is very good. Do you speak Humblefolk or Birdfolk?"
I speak Jorbeen. Is that something?
Birdfolk is common. And Jorbeen, yeah. In fact, no, he would actually say it in Jorbeen. He said...
Is he a Jorbeen?
He is not. He is a Vulpin. But he says to you in Jorbeen, "I am sorry, I don't speak Espinoran, but my Jorbeen is very good. If you have that, what is it you are offering?"
Well, let's just say the news travels in Espinor quite quickly. You're looking for a raptor, aren't you?
Yes. You happen to know where it is we could find who we are looking for? He is a criminal, thief. He has stolen something of great power. Our deity wishes it.
Well, humble folk need to stay together.
Grandfather Titon wishes this blasphemer dead. I will brook no bones about it, little man. Young man, he won't say little one, he would say young man. I will not lie to you, little man, a young man. He will be killed for his... looking for...
Blasphemy?
Blasphemy, yeah. For his blasphemy.
Julio's smile just dims a little bit. And he's like, well, that is a very serious business. What will ease the burden of this decision on me, good sir?
You trying to extort this guy?
Yeah. No. Well, no, I'm not really. Like, Julio doesn't care about the money in this moment, but it seems too easy to just give them information. I don't want him to be suspicious. I want him to see, like, an urchin is trying to gain out of this.
Yeah. He says...
You're selling me.
Yeah. He says... Do you follow the teachings of the Amaranthines? Have you been taught their ways?
Not much, to be honest. My parents are not a praying folk.
I see. Grandfather Titon cares about you. Cares about all of us. I could see a way to giving you a little gift. He pulls out from his pocket a knife that is wreathed in shadow. It has like mist, like black mist coming off it. He says, "This shiny dagger could be yours if you tell me what it is I need to know. Blessed by Titan himself."
Okay. Julio will describe the route to an area of the city that is pretty far, but not the most furthest one. Just like out of the way for how we will go to the orphanage, if that makes sense.
Right. Okay.
So they like focus their attention on a area of town that is not like intercepting our pathway. He will explain this way and says, "Last time I checked, there was a raptor who was not in the best shape, traveling through the city there. If you hurry, you might be able to catch them."
Very helpful. Show me the way, and the knife will be yours.
Okay.
There's always a catch.
Kudu will say, "Well, I am just a little Gerbine. My parents don't let me travel with strangers around the city."
And I'm gonna need another deception check because you've just pulled some like I'm a hardcore Oh, actually, but Mummy and Daddy don't like me hanging out with strange men.
Yeah. Well, this is probably Julio's first time actually like doing something like this. So he's like, strange
We've been
danger.
given a mission, and Julio's like, "All right, I need to lie to somebody."
Okay. Okay, 18. I'm actually gonna use my D4 on this.
Okay. All right.
Just to make sure I'm not fucking yoinked by this man.
First combat! Woo!
19.
19. Okay.
Killed immediately.
Yeah, it just stabs.
Immediately killed. How could this happen? I'm a golden god. I cannot die. No.
Yeah. He says, "Well, I wouldn't want your parents to worry." He pulls out a map and says, "Please mark it on the map." I presume you do.
Yeah, Julio just traces one of the streets. I saw them over there.
You're a good boy. Father Titan likes that. And he gives you the knife.
Julio will take the knife.
Careful who sees with it. And he fucking disappears. Like, you don't just see him blamf out of there, but the mist moves like way faster than he should. He dashes, but it's like he initially starts to run, and then it's more just like he is wafting away. Yeah.
I have a meta question. Julio at this time would not know this, but in the future, when we see the ghost people like haunting the family estate of Eric's family, do they not the family estate, the city? You know, like the spooky people that seem all the same.
Oh right, yeah.
Do they have the same vibe?
Yeah, similar. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they are all exclusively raptors. Those people, but yes, it's not a dissimilar style of magic. Yeah.
Okay. Julio will pee his pants just a little bit and try to like find his way stealthily back to the group without getting
very well.
spotted.
Kingsley and Bron have sort of shepherded the Aloani to the shadows, and whilst Bron, I'm going to be honest, didn't pass the check to sort of locate shadows sufficient. One look, the only time one of the other searchers appeared to notice you, Kingsley's figure, covered in their cloak, gave them the distinct impression that this one was already like, we've got this in hand, you carry on. However, a little bit further on, yet another searcher is encountered, this one a corvum in a cloak. Kiki, any attempts?
Yes. Due to my background as an urchin, I have the feature city secrets.
Ooh.
So I know the secret patterns and flows to cities and can find passages through the urban sprawl that others would miss. When I am not in combat, I and my companions can travel between any 2 locations in the city twice as fast as your speed would normally allow.
Sure.
So I would like to use this ability to basically find us the secret quick way to get through town. So
Routes
we are
that would not normally be traveled. Very well.
yes. So we are.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what kind of check it would be.
Survival maybe.
Yeah. Survival would make sense. Are you any good at survival?
Got a +2.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well,
It's
make
better
a
than mine.
Yeah. Make a survival check for figuring out pathways.
Yay! 17.
Yes.
Nice.
A 17. Yeah. There is. It would seem easily half a dozen searchers. Julio managed to distract one, Kingsley off-put another, but it was Kiki who finally got you into, basically, I think, Kiki, you find, Espinor is a very old city, and like many old cities, there is something of an under-city beneath it, where older buildings are just built on top of rather than demolished, and Kiki has mucked around in those spaces. I expect most of the orphans have at some point or another, but Kiki's sense of direction and memory are pretty decent, and she manages to lead you through the underwarrens of Espinora until you get to the port. Very nice, well done. As you basically sort of lead Aloane through the murky shadows and muddy waters of the sewer system, her hand reaches into her pocket just as you're climbing out of the sewers, pulling out a small stone, a green sigil roughly carved into it. The rock is vibrating. And she says, "My alarm! We need to hurry. Someone's at the door of the lighthouse. They must be trying to get in." So, the rest of the journey is a mad dash until you find yourselves at the base of a set of stairs leading up to a cliff top. Can I get perception checks, please? The full darkness has now fallen. It is night time. Not late night, but definitely night. 15, a 16. A 16.
Who in the party has dark vision then?
I'm actually don't. Oh, Bron. Bron has dark vision. Well, that's good. And Bron got a 16 as well. Yeah. Is that 2 15s and 2 16s? That's very good. So, Bron, you are the only one who does not struggle to notice this at all. However, all 3 of you can see a bunch of lurking figures. The staircase leading up to the base of the up to the top of this cliff top, it sort of zigzags across. It does a 3-way cross up this cliff face, and yes, leading up the cliff top. You find these sets of stairs, and at 4 different places on the staircases are a bunch of figures lurking. Bron, you can make out that one is a Vulpin, one is a Map Hatch, and the other 2 are a Strig and a Corvum. They are all making some effort to not hide themselves, but it's actually no. None appear to be making any effort to hide themselves. However, they are all hidden quite well. Just spotting them is difficult. Most of you notice, like, the other 3 of you all noticed a couple, but it was only Bron who was like, actually, no, there are 4. And Aloane was about to just dash straight up the first set of stairs before Bron puts a hand out to stop her and wait. The The wind is high and loud. The stairs zigzag across the steps 3 times. Each length of staircase is about 60 feet. This is another skill challenge. How do you sneak past these figures? The one thing else that Bron notices is that whilst they are on these stairs, they do appear to be watching the top, not the bottom. But they are fairly well spread out.
Would Julio have passed on anything that the guy said when you spoke to him?
You would absolutely have had time to.
Yes, I would have said like as much as I could. Like, they're looking for this guy. They have this like belief into Titan. Apparently, the guy stole something, and they have magic.
Did you show them the knife?
No, I have not.
Cool.
All right. Concerning that all the worshippers of the night god are staring at the big bright light. This will surely not symbolize anything.
Julio's best skill is stealth, so he will try to use that. So, trying to find a time where they're not looking, he will like try to usher the group using his stealth.
Very well.
I will try to assist in that by taking advantage of minor illusion, and sort of as we are going past, if it looks like any of them are sort of like starting to turn or might sort of actually turn to spot us, there'll be a very faint kind of green glow that sort of just twists between Kingsley's fingers for a moment and then rustles in the nearby bushes, or sort of like maybe like the rustling of like leaves falling down from a tree nearby, just trying to sort of pull their attention back.
Yep, love it. Excellent. What would that be as a skill check? I would say possibly Arcana or Sleight of Hand.
I was hoping for maybe Performance or Deception as a sort of...
Allow a Deception, that makes sense. That works. Yep. How about Bron and Kiki?
What level of control would I have over my pet beetle?
Not really any specifically... unless you have the capacity to actually talk to it.
I do not. I am just going to sneak because I am very good at stealthing. So I'm just gonna stealth my little Luma heart out.
Very well. Yep.
Bron is not necessarily good at sneaking.
I am going to use an ability I have, which is called, because I'm done with these fucking rolls.
Luma, yes.
Yes, it's called Fated. I can choose to re-roll any attack, skill check, or saving throw.
Hell yeah.
Oh, you can decide to do this after your roll, but only before the outcome of the roll has been determined. So I am going to...
I have not told you whether or not a 12 is a pass, but...
Yeah, so I'm going to try again, and it better be better, because... That's 16.
Hey,
that is
that's
better.
better.
That's better. Okay.
Also, I burn my inspiration to take the second roll.
Very well. Okay.
We're just burning all our bonuses up early.
Hey, look. You've got them for a reason. Yep. Bron?
I think Bron is just going to hang out with the hedge, just in case things go wrong. Bron is not very stealthy, but I think Bron is going to be like our last line of defense, if that makes sense, in case they do rush this person or something. And I think maybe he's going to position himself on the cliff side so that they have to go past him to get to the hedge, and he can like maybe push them off the path.
Oh, okay. All right. So
he doesn't want to, but like,
right. This sounds like athletics. To sort of just perform a like physically block people and guard against stuff. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Athletics check then.
Oh, hey.
Nice.
Good roll.
Very cool. Alrighty. So the first person you must sneak past is the the two at the bottom are the Vulpin and the Mapatch. It is the Mapatch you must sneak past first, and Julio, just works their way past them, the rest of the group following along behind. Similarly, the Vulpin is avoided by Kiki. In both instances, Kingsley casts some distracting magic, and Kiki finds a small little side path around the Vulpin. The Mapatch, on the other hand, is almost lured away as Julio finds some rocks, a way of climbing up straight, just bypassing a whole section of the staircase. The Corvum and the Strig, who have taken positions higher up, however, it's very windy, very loud. The storm, the waves crashing on the far side of the cliff make it so that this all lookout is being done by looking, not by listening. The Corvum is positioned in such a way that it's possible to sneak up behind them, and I think Bron just knocks them over the head with a rock and knocks them out.
It begins. The rocks.
Yes. The Strig is just booted off the top because that's all they can do to get past them. The Strig can fly, but it's a downward spiral, and it gets you past them. Dashing beyond this Strig, you make it to the next step. Beyond the stairs is a rope bridge leading out onto a rocky pillar, 100 feet above a churning gulf between the shore and the rocks. And can I get perception checks, please?
Hey, boy. Oh, no.
It's all right. That's why there's a group of you.
Look at that. Lucky 13.
Julio, with the high number this time around. Julio, on the far side, you can make out 3 figures. It is very dim, and it's about 100 feet away. The bridge is quite a long one. You can make out 2 muscular Vulpin and another figure in a hood that you can't make out the race of. To the left. It's hard to say exactly what they are, but they are clearly guarding the far side of this approach, and they are looking back the way they came, the way you are coming.
So there's no way for us to sneak around them.
This is a 10-foot wide, 100-foot long rope bridge that they are standing on the far end of. Probably not. If you can think of an interesting or clever way of getting around this one, all power to you. But I think we will have a little bracelet there while you ponder this, and we will be back in 5 to 10.
Excellent.
Yes, good job so far getting past all of the nasties, but things are getting more complicated. So let us see what we do. We'll be back 5 to 10, guys. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Vast ahoy and g'day, mateys. We be back for a little bit more Humblewood, a little bit more huts and homes, and trying to get past some guards on a bridge. Interesting. So,
Yeah.
what do we do? What are we doing? How are we doing this? What are we going about this?
Just a little understanding of their location amongst each other. The laddies, how far are they from each other?
Sorry. Okay.
The 3 guards.
The 3 guards. So there are 2 guards that that Julio can see at the far end of the bridge. They are basically 10 feet apart.
Okay.
And then
good.
the other one is about 30 feet away in some rocks. And whilst on the map I send you, it looks like a Vulpin. I'm just going to tell you for free, it's not a Vulpin.
Okay.
I have changed it.
Okay, so hoping that we have noticed them before they noticed us, right? So we have a little bit of time to prepare.
Yes. Yeah.
Lovely. So Julio will turn to Kingsley and say,
Kingsley, do you still have that long cloaky thing that you used?
He will pull out his, at this point, no doubt, relatively soaked blanket and just hold it up.
Right. So I got a very good look up close to one of those guys. We can impersonate one of them.
and I'll explain how the magic mist was like wafting off of this guy. And I'll say,
So if I sit on your shoulders, we'll become like tall enough, and you do a little bit of mist, and we walk closer, and we like usher them closer to us, and then when they're on the bridge, we push them off. Ah?
Hearing
I'm in.
this,
And you see Kingsley just like hop down onto one knee to let Julio climb up.
You're gonna do
hearing that
two
this is the
map patch in a
plan-
trench coat?
yeah.
pretty much.
Julio, I don't dislike the plan. I actually think it has legs.
And that's the problem.
Or similar plan, but we do get help.
Well, yeah, we're kind of. So, like, we act as if we're like, oh, we're wounded. Come closer. Shh.
Bron is
Yeah.
going to get his 2 hand axes, just like loosen them so they're ready to grab.
Bron.
I feel like you don't trust this.
I don't know why you would think that.
Pulls out axes.
It's just that I like that feels like it's quite a difficult illusion to pull off. And if it's just a poor helpless orphan child begging for help, that's like a lower bar for like convincing them.
Julio, you can make an insight check.
Okay. Yes, sure. I'm so good at insight.
Yeah, I know.
3.
Yeah, no, this tracks. This makes perfect sense. You think this would work.
I got this. So
You think that all of these people, the person you interacted with, would definitely feel sorry for a poor orphan.
yeah, for sure. So let's combine our plans. I'm gonna be on Kingsley's shoulders. I'm like the big guy helping the poor child closer to those folks. And then when they come closer to investigate why is their child escorted by the powerful guy, we push them off.
So you're going to like carry me as the two kind
I
of.
don't think I can carry you, but I can hold your hand.
Well, I've got that. So I have a quarterstaff on my back.
Okay.
So I'm like, what if I like limp along with the stick? I'm so hurt and injured, and I'm out in the storm, and I'm so alone.
I think you can see that, like, Kingsley's fully on board expression, he hasn't moved. He's still offering for Julio to climb up, but I think his face is screwed up slightly. I think he's clearly fighting the urge to maybe suggest a different plan because he thinks that disagreeing with people, what's the word I'm looking for here? He's peer pressuring himself.
Yeah.
And it's just like, maybe I shouldn't speak out against the group. And I think he's just looking a little concerned.
Aloani does say, look, while I don't think these people are up to any good, is killing them a good idea?
It's all right. If it doesn't work, I've got 2 axes. I'll just chop the bridge and we'll kill ourselves and put us all out of our misery. It's fine.
This
Well,
is
that's
also
not
not
necessarily good.
for me. Not the best solution either.
But there's water below, right?
It's going to be really hard to get the stranger back across the bridge if the bridge is gone.
Yeah.
Although,
As you there.
or
let's do it.
yourselves, Okay. So Julio gets up on Kingsley's shoulders.
Yeah. With the cloak up.
I'm gonna say
Where's
Bron
some guy?
stays back with Aloani. And Kingsley and Julio escort the wounded orphan across the bridge.
I think as we are about to leave, I do think Kingsley will, as an idea, if we think that they're not very nice, maybe we pretend we caught you instead. Say that you were trying to sneak.
That's smart.
Oh, so I can be more like, no, let me go.
That's
Do you have
way
any idea
better
who my
idea.
parents are?
Because I don't. I'm an orphan.
Yep, no idea.
Given you are literally sitting on them, I think you feel some tension leave Kingsley's shoulders as the plan gets adjusted.
Okay,
Nice.
Kingsley, I'm going to need an acrobatics check because you are carrying somebody on your shoulders whilst walking on a rope bridge.
Can I help with that? I'm
No,
not
you're
acrobatic.
doing a different thing. You are doing a deception check to make it look like you're one huge or normal-sized being.
As this is going,
Totally realistic. There's no way this is gonna fail.
And
before
Kiki,
we actually begin, I do think that Kingsley will sort of flash everybody a smile and like, all right, we can do this. And I'm gonna bardic inspire Julio and Kiki.
Oh,
Wow.
thank you very much.
okay, I love it. So, Kiki, you are making either a performance or a deception, your choice.
Deception because I get advantage.
Okay.
Smart.
I'm just checking if I have anything that can help me with this because I have a plus nothing to acrobatics.
Oh no.
Like, I can stick my wings out, which would probably help quite a lot with the balance, but it would also give the ruse up pretty damn quick.
Oh shit! I just crit.
Nat 20.
Oh, that's good.
Nice.
Nat 20 to
So
deceive
we
these
have-
mofos.
21 and 22 so far. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
We're quite deceptive.
Could be a crit one, isn't it?
I have no
that
way.
one.
Yeah, I have
No,
no
but-
way to
no,
improve this roll. We're just
You
gonna
got
go
this.
for it.
You got this.
Okay. Yeah, 17.
Wow, okay. With a plus 0, 17 is pretty decent. Okay.
A slightly drunken cultist
Yeah.
escorting.
No, this is
I would
well
assume
done.
that almost any cultist would probably be
It's-
not so steady on their feet crossing the bridge. If I just walked across it, absolutely no
pretty
problem. They'd be
windy.
like, "Why is he doing that?"
It's pretty windy. This cultist has a freakishly long neck for someone with the face of a gerbine, because I'm assuming
The hood is up. The hood is
the
up.
oh yeah, absolutely. But the arms are coming out, and they are wings. Let's be honest, are coming out quite low down the body. So it's just an unusual shaped bird folk.
Yeah, he's interestingly
yeah.
built.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with the mental image. Kingsley is sure that they look like a vulture
yeah.
with like the long sort of craned
it.
neck that's sort
Yeah.
of hunched over.
And Julio's deliberately letting his nose droop a bit. Yep, cool. Yeah, Kiki is kicking up a storm, making a massive fuss. Do you know who my parents are? Not even a bloody raptor.
I will not be subjected to criminal abuse.
Most verbose child I've ever seen.
You
Bron almost gives himself away by laughing.
so you you pretty much they don't come across the bridge you've definitely fooled them. They see you coming, and you've done such a good job. They're not like, well, he's got this.
When we are like still on the bridge but pretty close to the
Yeah.
end,
That's fine.
I'll try
Even
to,
if we
like-
can just walk past them.
Yeah,
I mean,
Bron and Aloani
But
can't,
why-
but
They are standing close to the cliff.
yeah, we'll have to leave with a raptor. I don't think we can. We gotta kill them. So,
Non-lethal damage is a thing that exists, guys. I
Yeah, but
gotta
not from a
stick.
cliff.
Not in Thunderwave, it doesn't.
yeah, Thunderwave, you
Yeah.
can't persuade it to. Anyway,
I think going in the drink, they might be able to swim.
maybe.
You know,
Yeah.
everyone knows you don't take fall damage if you land in water.
Yeah.
They might be right.
Mythbusters
Yeah, for
proved
sure.
this wrong as well. Yep.
Yeah, terminal velocity does not exist in D&D. There's no
Yeah,
such
but
thing.
who are you going to trust, Minecraft or Mythbusters?
So the as we are close to the end of the bridge, I'll make a show of like pulling on Kiki's hand and say, guys, I need some help with this one. Oh, he's
tiny.
wrestling against my grasp. No.
I'll bite your legs off!
Kiki is seeing a lot of blend through from Poliani. Okay. Julio, just out of curiosity more than anything else, deception check.
Reminder that
God.
you have a bardic inspiration.
Or a
I
persuasion,
do.
actually. I love persuasion. You're trying to persuade these allies of yours to do what you want.
I'm gonna
that
reroll
bardic
that with my
inspiration?
inspiration.
No,
Well, I
bardic
have,
inspiration. Just use the bardic inspiration.
Okay,
It's a
It's a D6.
D6, yeah.
Okay.
Because he's a bard.
Oh, it's 18.
Ooh, 18.
I
There you
am.
go.
Nice.
Nice.
I love that this,
Right,
this
Josh.
is what's worked.
Thank you for clarifying.
Like, can't fucking scull my tea, but convince two cultists that this is just one weird cultist escorting a child.
Yeah. One, they were like, oh, this is weird. I don't remember you from the ship we all came in on and therefore probably all know each other.
Nah, you know how it is.
It's
As
dark.
soon as the objective has the potential for funny failure with little to no actual downside, the DC
Yeah.
just shoots up.
Yeah. Well, no, she also rolled very poorly.
That too.
Hey, that's an 18.
Yeah, no, I meant about coughing on tea. The
yeah,
18 is
that's-
very good. They both like,
Good to know where my
okay.
skill set is.
And track out across the bridge towards you. Like, I don't know, one of them does. One of them goes, fine. And one of these really, getting close, they are really quite stocky Vulpins. Like quite muscular, quite thick in the neck. One of them has a pretty unpleasant looking broadsword. Like it's not just a straight blade. It's got like curves and spikes halfway up. It's really inefficiently designed. Strapped to their back, the other is sort of cradling a wicked battle axe. And the one with the sword strapped across their back like shrugs and sort of ambles out to take Kiki's other hand. And
Touch me, I'll spit on your ancestors!
So,
Brian's taking notes. These are amazing.
so I have the opportunity to change the plan in a way that might benefit us.
Do it.
You said it.
I
You
am
shake your
going to
head,
say
Dario.
you are 20 feet away from the end of the rope bridge when this
Yep.
begins happening. So the guy comes to meet you probably about 10 feet away from the edge.
Okay. So, hoping that their attention is sufficiently drawn by the screaming child, and that any quiet sounds I might make might be covered up by the sounds of the winds and rain, from his position sort of under
Twixt Julio's thighs.
the blanket trench coat, I think some of that, this time not green but golden sort of flickering is going to sort of weave in and out from between some of his, from in between one hand of his fingers.
Mm-hmm.
As he closes it, trying to be stealthy, hopefully not noticed, I'm going to cast Sleep on the one that's stepping onto the bridge, hoping that I can make it appear as though he perhaps tripped and fell,
Ooh.
to dispatch one without raising suspicion.
That's very
Lethal
good.
sleep. Okay.
Hey, it's gravity. It's not us.
Yeah,
You've
yeah.
never
All right.
seen-
Roll
you
me
mean you've
some.
never dealt damage with the sleep spell before?
Roll me some sleep damage.
Okay, so it's going to be, because I can definitely cast second level spells, but I don't have, I'm going to use a first level instead.
How much HP do you think?
Okay, that's actually a good roll.
Wow,
so I
that's
rolled
a lot.
28
Oh damn!
on the 5d8, which is actually pretty good.
That is pretty good.
It's above average.
It is.
About full.
Yeah. Oh. Hey, Karen, roll me a d6.
Oh god.
Oh.
I'm worried now. I'm scared.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try to wait until he like steps 1 or 2 steps onto the bridge, and then
Oh! Okay. So, he had 33 hit points. I am going to say that Karen's, that the Bardic Inspiration dice that you gave Kiki is burnt.
okay.
Because you burned a thing that you don't have a huge number of to achieve this, and it was you rolled well and Karen rolled well, so I'm going to allow it to happen. You got exactly the number you needed. I was like, Karen,
Nice.
5 plus 28 is exactly his hit points. So seeing it is magically linked to you, I reckon Kiki stamps her foot quite hard on one of the bridge struts, and with her bardic inspiration just sends this ripple through it just as this wave of silence, or as this wave of sleep hits him. He doesn't quite black out, but he does lose his balance and fall off the bridge. Yeah.
Julio will say no.
And the other Vulpin goes,
"Arrest a child, you monsters!"
"You're not under arrest, little one." What the hell? Harold!
I'll keep moving
Harold's dead.
off the bridge as this is happening.
Well, he died off screen, so it's not our fault, really.
Yeah.
Hey, the kitty swim. He might be fine.
I'm gonna roll.
Kingsley is focusing so hard on just getting off this bridge, partially because of how unstable it is, and partially because I cannot think about the fact that I just killed a man for the first time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
In your
he
defense,
took
you
49
weren't trying
falling
to kill
damage.
Jesus. Yeah,
he's dead.
He's dead.
Nice.
He's very dead.
Hell yeah. Well, that's the most damage I've ever done with sleep.
That's very good.
Yeah, first level sleep as well. Harold, oh, you little brat, and he is gonna backhand Kiki.
Have I managed to get us off the bridge?
I mean, yeah, you probably get to the end of the bridge, and he is
Okay.
going to like grab Kiki's arm and drag her off the bridge to in front of him and slap, like, backhand her across the face. Because she just killed a mate of his, as far as he's concerned.
Yep. I think that as much as I think we probably want to, Kingsley's not going to interfere yet.
Kiki can appreciate the theatrical value of letting this happen, so...
Yeah. This is not a damaging attack. This is just a backhand. Like, it's probably not... Yeah, it's your pride more than anything else. Bron, Aloani goes, "That's all well and good for getting them across. Is this going to work for us? Or should we go now while they're distracted?"
I have maybe something up my sleeve. I think we can go now.
So, yeah, Aloani and Bron, whilst the two people on the other side are... Well, the three people on the other side are either dead or distracted, begin to...
Kiki
Creep?
starts dramatically crying.
Oh. Performance check, please.
Damn. We're just doing the most.
Watch
huh?
me fail this one. Oh, that's a 10.
Yeah. He goes... oh, yeah, no. This guy goes...
But
Yeah.
hopefully he thinks I'm just exaggerating how much I'm hurt.
No, he doesn't buy it at all. He was like, he was like, "Nah, this one, there's something funny about this one. Take her up." Wait, no, actually, sorry. There's something funny about this one. Why did you bring her out here?
She was trying to sneak by to the lighthouse.
So we brought her to the lighthouse.
So you brought her here? And that's what he said, like, so you brought her to the place she was trying to sneak?
Because he's a big dum-dum!
Who are you?
Listen,
Question, is this guy, this guy's still near the edge, right?
Yeah.
I think at this point,
How close is Bron?
I don't know, Bron. How fast are you moving?
Oh, pretty quickly at this rate.
Oh, fuck. Let us say Bron is 30 feet away.
Oh, sweet, great. I might use Charm Person, which is a racial spell that I can do at first level.
Yep.
Just once. It's a 30-foot range, wisdom save of 13.
No. Oh, that's sad. I'm sorry. He got way more than he got 18.
Ah! There goes that.
Question though, does that alert him to Bron's presence?
Yes.
Okay,
He spins around and looks at Bron like, "Oi! Who are you?"
I think in that case, having somehow managed to dodge the question, I think that Kingsley's going to see a moment, and rather than wasting a spell slot, is going to, he's not actually going to shout it, because he doesn't want to actually alert anyone, but is just going to say, like, intruders, behind the guy to make him think that we're on his side, and then I'm going to body check him in the back and try to shove him off the cliff.
Julio is on your shoulders, so this would be, you would have the help action from Julio's extra mass.
Let's go.
Yep.
Bulking.
Yep. You have
Putting the
advantage,
mouse
go,
on my
go, go.
shoulders for bulk. Alright, advantage roll.
Athletics.
16.
Come on.
16,
If it's a
which
one,
is-
Julio goes off the cliff.
I have a +1 to that, so
Ooh.
16's not bad.
His balance was a little off as he spun around to see Bron. He rolled a 4 on the dice. He does have a decent save, but no. You yeet this Vulcan berserker off the cliff.
We're Baldur's Gate 3ing this shit.
Yeah.
I think Julio would just hear for a moment a shuddering breath from Kingsley and a very quiet in for a penny as Kingsley kills his second person ever.
Wow.
What a backstory, huh?
What you don't know, what you seem to have forgotten is there is a third guard watching this about 30 feet away,
we
standing on
know.
the rocks.
Julio spotted it, I didn't.
Yeah, alright, well, that's true. Kingsley, I think you were aware of it by the time you get to the far side of the bridge. Yeah, there is a Strigg on the rocks about 30 feet away from you who is armed with a longbow and is going to shoot at Kingsley/Julio. What would be either... Who has... What's your ACs?
14.
14 for Julio?
11.
Okay, let's call it 12.
Oh, Jesus.
Is what they're aiming for.
Combined AC of 12. Had to bring the average down, so...
Yeah.
That's okay.
Actually, no, you know what? They are going to cast spiritual sacred flame on you instead.
Dex
Is that
save.
Dex save?
Dex save, yes.
Would it be...
Okay.
Who is it targeting?
It would be Kingsley.
Awesome. Okay, and as much as I don't want to hamstring myself, I do feel like it makes sense.
Having
Should I
Julio
roll
on
this
your
with
shoulders?
disadvantage because of the mouse
Yeah.
on my shoulders?
Yeah.
As much as I don't want to screw myself over, that's a nice
That's a
even
10.
10.
Yeah. But either way, a 12 would not have been sufficient. Oh, wow. A 12 would have been sufficient. That's unfortunate.
Mighty,
yeah,
mighty unfortunate.
Oh, well. You take, what, like one... It's a D8, isn't it?
Unless they're level 5, in which case
Yeah.
it's 2.
No. A D8, you take 4 radiant damage, Kingsley. And I'm going to
Kingsley's-
say
Against his
Julio
better judgment, he squawks.
topples off.
Nice.
which sort of gives the game away. Arloani is sort of trotting along behind Bron. So let us roll for initiative. You have only one opponent left, but yeah, this was well done. Give me some initiatives. Bron gets a 9.
1's better than 3, guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. We've I am so surprised that got as far as it did.
Yeah, Kiki gets a 16.
Same for Julio.
And also, so does Julio. And I would guess you actually have the same modifier as well. And this fanatic got a 16 as well, but they have a lower dex, so they will go after Julio and Kiki. So you two can decide who goes first. Julio, I would say you go second in this instance, because you're in the process of toppling off Kingsley's shoulders.
That's fair.
I will say you land on your feet, because it's not very far, and you are extremely dexterous. But Kiki, what do? You're about 30 feet, 35 feet probably for you, away from this guy. He is in some rocks.
Cool. Well, fortunately, my movement speed is 35 feet. So I am going to like whip out my quarterstaff, fucking sprint at this dude, and using both hands, I am going to try and clock him in the head.
Nice. Okay. If you use both hands, you cannot offhand attack with your other hand. Just FYI.
Although I think martial arts also allows the use of like feet, head, elbows, etc. Right?
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I can.
I was under the impression, but I could be wrong.
I believe. Hang on, let me see. Because
that does make sense.
Hang on. Because it does specify. Yeah, flurry of blows does not specify whether it matters if I'm using a double-handed weapon or not.
No, I don't think so. Okay, cool. Yeah, double-handed weapon it is.
And like, I could use my elbows, which means I wouldn't need my hands.
Yeah, sure. No, alrighty. Two-handed weapon it. Smack him up.
To kick him.
Like, it's up to you. I'm happy to one-hand hit him so I can do my flurry of blows.
No, I think it's a valid point. For monks particularly, this makes sense.
Okay, cool.
Hey, Rob.
Let us try and hit him. I hope his DC isn't too high. That's a 13.
Is the number you needed.
Oh, nice.
Let's go. Nicely done.
And he will take 9 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh,
very nice.
And then, of course, because
monk.
why the fuck wouldn't I am going to burn a key point. So I can flurry of blows, which will allow me to make 2 unarmed strikes as my bonus action.
Yes. Rob, today we actually do not have a crow friend or a trash panda, but we do have a mouse friend.
First one is an 11, so that is going to miss. Yes.
We are playing a backstory episode today, Rob. So we are playing an adventure from Julio and Bron's teenage years. And a filthy 20. Very nice.
Filthy 20.
Roll some damage. D4, I think. Yes.
Yes. 5. So I'm going to say I'll like try and elbow strike him with both elbows, but only the second one lands.
Yeah. And he lets out some... This is an oof and a further oof. This is a strig that you are up against, and he manages to bring his hand down to catch one of your elbows as you strike him, but the other one then just clocks him in the knee. He is comfortably twice your height, Kiki. He is a big guy, and you are just going for him.
Tiny but furious.
Exactly right. Julio, what do you do?
Right. So you said he's 30 feet away. My long jump is 30 feet.
Hell yeah.
So I want to just jump from my position to him and say, hello, shake, shake.
Hello. Yeah.
Yeah, I try to shank him real good.
Very well.
With my rapier. Ka-chow.
Ka-chow.
Oof, that's 11. That's not hit.
That's not a hit, I'm afraid.
But I do have my bonus action.
You do.
I can.
What are you going to do?
Shank one more time. Dagger. Yeah. Ooh. Can I
use
my
the new
question.
dagger?
You can use the new dagger if you want.
I'm gonna try.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
why not?
like with a second hand, just like the shadowy dagger, try to shank him. Is the bonus the same as my normal dagger?
Yep.
Okay.
It's not a +1. It would be
Okay.
magical for the purposes of overcoming resistance, but otherwise.
12.
12 is not enough to hit, I'm afraid.
Damn it.
That's rough. A 6 and a 7 to hit. is
Yeah,
unfortunate.
I rolled shit.
Yeah.
Well, I had to roll shit somewhere because I rolled pretty good on
You
deception.
do have an inspiration. You want to.
I'm gonna leave it for a rainy
Okay.
day. I'm
Very well.
gonna
Sure.
wait for this.
Very well. Yeah, Julio, you leap in, but I'm actually gonna say I will give you it for free when you swing this dagger at this guy. You actually, it's very tactical. You make a pretty obvious thrust with the rapier that he sidesteps, and this sets you up to shank him in the side with the dagger quite well. Unfortunately, when the dagger comes to hit him in the sort of the love handle, the blade just turns to mist just as it reaches his side, and the hilt just hits him in the side. So he goes and he doesn't even seem to take the damage at all, like any damage at all. It just hits this sort of hardened leather armor that he's wearing, and then as you pull the blade back, it rematerializes. This shadowy blade doesn't appear to be able to hurt him at all. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's not a death from above attack, because if you do that, the battle mech falls over on its back after it misses. Yeah. What else do we do? Next it's that guy. It's the cult fanatic. It's just the name
Do you
of the
punch
thing.
the tiny Jabin or do you punch the tiny Luma? So
I
many
think you're
options.
going to punch the tiny Luma. The Jobin is evidently not that dangerous.
Hey.
So he is going to cast Inflict Wounds on Kiki.
What a dick.
Fucking cleric.
Yeah. A 15 to hit.
Equals beats.
Oh. So this one, yeah, his claws lash out at you, and inflict wounds. There you go. I'm just trying to remember how many. It's 3d10, isn't it?
3D, yeah.
Oh, Jesus. He might just straight up kill me, guys.
Yeah. He lashes out at you. Oh, he rolled very poorly. And got yes, just 8 necrotic damage later. I know, right? Very poorly. A 5, a 3, and a 1. Sorry, a 5, a 2, and a 1.
That's so lucky.
Yeah. Yeah, and you feel life just being sucked out of you as a wave of nausea and dizziness sweeps over you, Kiki, as this fanatic just grabs you by the shoulder. The grip is almost... It feels like steel clamped around your shoulder, and he does not let go. You are not mechanically grappled, but yeah, that hurt. Next is Bron.
Okay. How far away is Bron from the cultist?
I think Bron would be about 20 feet from the end of the bridge, so about 45 feet from the cultist.
Ooh, 45. Okay.
As the crow flies, but you are at a sort of an angle, and there is an empty space. There is a fall between you and him. You have to go to the end and then go across.
Well,
It's probably 50 feet to travel.
Yeah, I might walk. Oh, that's perfect. I might walk 30, and hopefully that gets me within 20, and I'm going to throw my 2 hand axes.
Love it. Aloeni is sort of cowering behind you. She is not really a combatant. Yeah. She is going to go at the very last, and she has a thing that she can do. But yes, throw your hand axes, good sir.
Great. I'll throw the first one because that's a normal attack.
Yep.
Oh, that ain't no good. That's 7 to hit.
Oof. Nope.
Unfortunate. Now my other one, I'm gonna do a bonus action and go 2-weapon fighting because they're both light.
Yep.
But the to hit then.
It's just your strength modifier, it's not your proficiency. So it's a +1.
Okay. I'm just going to roll a d20, and we can add 1 to the
Yeah.
result.
Cool.
Oh, dirty 20!
Yeah.
30-20. Hell yeah. Let's go. All right.
Nice. Okay.
Bron.
And does
So-
just the d6 of damage.
Just the d6.
Unfortunately.
Okay, but also, that's okay, I have a thing. So, does 2 damage, but
Rough.
because, I'm a fighter also, I'm going to spend my superiority die, and they must make a wisdom saving throw of 11.
Are you 3 levels of fighter?
No, but the fighting style's different, because he hasn't opened up his gem yet.
Okay, right. Cool. So what does he
So-
have to do? Sorry, what do I have to do?
It's a wisdom saving throw of 11, and on failure, target's got disadvantage on attack against all targets except me until the end of my next turn.
Wisdom.
Nice.
I got an 8.
Yes! So,
Nice.
Very
disadvantage
nice.
on attacks against everyone but me until the end of my next turn.
Very nice. Cool. Alrighty.
It's a goading attack, so he was like, "You suck!"
Oh,
Nice
also
goading,
actually,
dude.
after checking, you do apply your proficiency to the attack. You just don't get the bonus of strength to damage on the second hand.
If you're proficient
Okay.
with 2 weapon fighting, isn't it?
The 2-weapon fighting style adds the damage to your
okay.
second hand, but you get the full attack. It just doesn't hit as hard.
Okay. Alrighty. Cool. Well, never mind. He hit anyway. He actually hit very well then.
you did.
22. Cool. All right. And next is Kingsley.
Okay, so at this point, everyone is closer to him than I am.
Mhm.
Is the lighthouse keeper in a position where she would see me?
Yes.
Mm.
You are
I
sort
think
of
he's-
between her and everybody else at this point.
Okay, I think he's just gonna kind of like look sort of indecisive for a moment before he's just gonna like turn to her and just like. And as he turns back, he is going
Everybody
to...
else is not looking at you. It's fair to say.
Yeah, so he's just towards her, just like reaches a hand out, reaches the other one, and pulls as if drawing a bow. And as he does, you see little green shimmers kind of spread out and do form the outline of a bow in his hand. And he's going to release a sort of sparkling green arrow as a. Using my bard abilities, I'm going to cast Eldritch Blast.
Yeah, very bad.
Nice.
So,
Very bad. Much wow. Yeah.
It's a 14 to hit.
14 does indeed.
such a
I
bard we have with us.
rolled max. That's 10
Max
damage.
Nice.
10.
Good work,
Because
everybody.
I don't have agonizing blast. I don't
Because
know
you
why I
wouldn't.
would. I'm a bard.
You're a bard. Yeah.
And we believe that.
Yeah. Well, you don't know any else.
Yes, totally normal bards.
Aloani
Wanna
wouldn't
play
know.
skateboard?
She's not a fighter or anything. So she's some kind of spellcaster. But beyond that, yeah, she goes.
I think that's actually
She just sort of
why,
looks at you and like
because-
shrugs, like, "Wow, that's
Because
impressive."
he's aware that her power comes from an amaranthine as well. There's a moment of like, I don't want someone recognizing this, and so he gives her like the "don't tell anyone."
It doesn't.
Excellent.
She's just she's a spellcaster, but yeah, she's sort of a druid. Is closest to like if you were going to stat her.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But yes, so I will do that.
She's a hedge witch.
10 damage. Ah, nice. And I assume the guy is still standing.
He is, though he's not looking great. This green arrow lances into him above Kiki's head. It just sort of shoots in as Kiki's shoulder is being held. Basically, Kiki's shoulder gets grasped, and then a hand axe hits him in one, on one side, and then an a green arrow made of fire lances into him on the other side, and then immediately disappears.
It kind of, it does seem like it impacts, but rather than piercing, it just sort of seems to dissipate in a puff of green. And I do think then, as his bonus action, we'll just sort of shout out over the wind towards the others, and just noticing that Kiki seems to have sort of staggered from a hit, we'll just, "You're all right, Kiki, keep going," and I'm going to inspire Kiki again.
Love it. Yeah.
And that's my turn.
Arloani is going to... She doesn't know whether anybody else got hurt, but she did see Kiki get hurt. And given her list of spells, she is going to cast Mass Healing Word.
Oh, let's go.
Because she doesn't have Healing Word, she has Mass Healing Word, though.
That's
she has
awesome,
Cure Wounds,
because
but she
I
can't
did
get
get
there.
hurt. Because
Oh,
I
you
got
did?
shot
Okay.
before combat started.
Oh, that's right, yeah. Cool, so 2 of you get healed for 1d4 plus, I think, 3.
Oh, nice. Well, I only need 4,
yes.
so I'm at max.
So, yeah, that's 3 plus 2, 5. Kiki, you get 5 healing.
Cool. I feel much better.
You should. And then we go back to the top of the order. It's Julio or Kiki.
Well, let's take it in turns. So Julio can
I think
go
that makes
first this
more
time.
sense because Kiki is sort of grasped.
Yes, he's grabbed me and I did get hurt and then healed immediately. So I'm like,
Yeah.
whoa.
In that case, I will try to rapier again. Hopefully this time I'll hit, actually.
Hell yeah.
Um,
Do we... Oh!
that's 10.
Oh!
I'm still not hitting. I'm gonna use a normal dagger.
Pulls
this
out
time.
different dagger. Yep.
Yeah, maybe this one will work. Shank. Oh, that's worse. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I can't hit.
Unlucky.
Yeah, not
Everyone's
this guy.
looking.
Yeah. Nobody look at me!
Everyone turn around. I'm getting anxious. Yeah, I'm just like ineffectually wiping at him.
But this does force him to sort of let go of Kiki's shoulder as you are sort of pushing him back away from the cliff edge. He is obliged to let go of Kiki, which allows Kiki to do something. What do you do, Kingsley?
Kingsley?
Sorry, no. Kiki, not Kingsley.
Right, cool.
I was just about to say, pretty sure
there
it's
was
my
a
turn,
split
dude.
second where I was like, whoa, I missed something.
I apologize. Yeah, oh, no, don't you remember the last 10 minutes? No, Kiki, it is your turn.
It's happened before.
I am going to regroup and hit him with my staff again.
Very well.
Fuck him up.
Please do.
Boom! 21.
21. Okay. Big money, no whammies.
That is a staggering
whammy.
4 points of damage.
He does stagger.
But fortunately, I'm going to burn another key point so I can punch him a couple more times.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Because go hard or go home.
Hell yeah.
I know that it's meant to be like punching or kicking, but after the display on the bridge, I'm just imagining this as Kiki goes quarterstaff hit and then just starts biting.
With a beak.
I
You're
peck
pecking at
him
him.
with great acuity.
Yes. Kiki, how do you do this?
Let's go.
You bite his ankles off.
Can
Bite
I
his
try-
legs off. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to peck him in the thigh.
Oh. I reckon that would topple him. He's still quite close to an edge. So if you peck him in the thigh, that might topple him over the edge.
Yes.
Does that work for you?
It's poetic. Yeah, go for
Yeah.
it.
Alrighty.
Three's
yeah.
the crowd.
So Kiki, I
There's
reckon
like a pile of
you
bodies.
You don't have to clean up the corpses later, you know.
Yeah. You wrap
One of
this
the
guy
guards
on
on the cliff is just watching.
people. It's like, wow, it's a bad day in that office.
It's raining dudes. Hallelujah.
I reckon Kiki smacks him on one of his feet with her staff, causing him to like, ow, and hop, and then just pecks him in the knee with the other one. He just spins over and falls off the cliff, and falls too fast for his wing. Because he fell backwards, he can't catch himself with his wings before he plummets into the waves and is crushed against the rocks. You have successfully gotten past this combat. Well done. You dash up the rocks after the bridge. Arloani saying, "Well done. It's a real. I did well. I can't imagine what they would have done to us if they'd caught us. So, good job. Well done."
We can feel bad about it later.
Yes, this is a good point. Okay, come quickly. She smiles at you gratefully. It looks like they weren't able to get through my wards, at least. She walks toward the stone door of the ancient lighthouse and places her hand against it. The door responds to her touch and slowly grinds open. Aloani beckons you in. Sea-Watch Tower is 3 stories tall, though it sits atop a very high pillar of rock, and is, made of a moss-covered stone. The top floor featuring many large windows with light beaming out of them. The first floor is a small bedroom for there's the first floor, then there is a second floor which is a small bedroom, and then above it is the larger room with the beacon in it. Once inside, Aloani closes the door and reapplies the spell Arcane Lock to it.
Nice.
Leads you up to her bedroom. There, a singed...
This is moving very fast, Aloni.
There, a singed, unconscious raptor with a ruby amulet around his neck lies on the bed, breathing heavily.
Ooh, conscious?
Very much unconscious. Yeah,
He doesn't
he
look
is.
good.
No. I have called him the Seahawk, as I know nothing else about him. He was terribly hurt in the storm. Frankly, I don't even know how he managed to cross. Birdfolk cannot fly exactly, but there was no ship in that afternoon. So unless he was lost, his ship lost in the storm.
Would I have heard of airships?
Yes,
They what were they called again? Sorry, I'm-
Iscalia.
Could he have fallen from Iscalia?
No, Iscalia would have been out in that storm either. And none came in that day. I would have seen them from here.
The man
thought, though.
that I talked to before, he said that the man stole something, and Julio will look at the amulet around his neck.
Oh, this
Maybe
is mine.
that's. Oh,
Is it
well-
it healing him?
Yes, a periapt of womb closure.
Well, the man said that this guy stole something, so maybe that something lets him fly.
Maybe. That makes sense.
Or it's a big slingshot.
That sounds cool.
She
The
chuckles.
inventor is just there.
Yeah.
Can I like gingerly reach out and like touch his equivalent of a hand?
Yep.
Like, does he feel normal or feverish or?
I was actually going to say, on a similar note, Kingsley would walk towards. Can I make a medicine check, maybe?
Both of you can make medicine checks, please.
Awesome. Let's go.
Not one of my specialties.
Nice.
But, 14, so not as good as Kingsley.
Kiki, he doesn't feel feverish. His body looks pretty much healed. Kingsley, at 21 you would get that as well, but you would see rapid eye movement. He is having a dream, and not a nice one.
I think he'll just sort of mutter to himself about nightmares as he's sort of looking the guy over a bit, and will then look back.
Actually, with a 21 you would get something else.
Oh.
You can feel, through your totally barred powers, amaranthine magic around him. Not related to any amaranthine you may or may not know, however.
Okay. Interesting. I think with that being the case, I think he'll look back and I think he's cursed. I don't exactly know how, but it looks like he's dreaming. And I'm guessing if he hasn't woken up yet, then he's stuck.
Oh, that sounds horrible.
Stuck in a dream.
A nightmare, I think.
Can we wake him up?
Do we know anyone? I suppose he'll phrase it as a question to the room and also doubles as a question to the DM, but do we know anyone who could cure a curse?
Probably Lady Caspia. She's a priestess, right?
And we have to get him back to our orphanage anyway.
I can cure curses. I know the spell required. I have already applied it to him. He is not cursed in the technical sense, but I don't think you're wrong. I think there is something else going on in his mind. Something that has, as you say, trapped him there. I think you are right.
Amaranthine magic.
I'm just gonna quickly try something. I don't know if it'll work, but I want to try.
Please.
Daria, you're gonna love this. I use the cantrip message.
Nice. Beautiful.
Nice.
How fucking dare you?
On the dreaming man,
Oh,
just in
hell
case
yeah.
he is, even in this nightmare he's trapped in, able to hear me
That's so
and
smart.
reply.
That's so cool.
What do you say?
And I'll basically say, we're here to help you. If you can, whisper back. If you can't, squeeze my hand.
You hear in your mind a rasping voice say, "Help! Please! I'm so sorry." It feels
Say,
distracted.
he says help and that he's sorry.
Okay.
Those watching would have seen his beak move very gently. Like, no, you wouldn't have been able to read what he was saying on his lips, as he doesn't have lips. But yeah,
Okay. With the knowledge that he stole something and he feels sorry, can Julio, like, quickly using his sleight of hand, like, ruffle through his pockets and see if there's anything on him that might be, like, influencing him to stay in that sense?
Oh,
and just,
sure.
like,
Yeah,
chuck it out
absolutely.
if you
Yeah.
find it.
Investigation check.
Is that sleight of hand?
Investigation check.
Oh, investigation. Oh, I'm so sorry. Well, I rolled an 18. Plus
18 is good.
3.
21.
Plus,
21.
So 21.
Very well. Yeah. He has upon him. I am actually going to just check. I was not anticipating you actually rifling through his pockets, but he does have a stat block.
I'm not
So
for
Why
stealing.
not? We're a bunch of thieving orphans.
Yeah, well, urchins.
I know, foolish of me. He has upon him.
Tricksy little orphans.
He has a longbow. Ooh, that's interesting. Yeah, he has. His clothing is ragged. It's barely holding together. He has an empty coin purse on his belt. The periapt of wound closure around his neck, which is comfortably the fanciest thing he possesses, but it's not his. He has a longbow, which is unstrung, and it has 3 arrows in the quiver, and in a sort of a chest mounted strap, like a back mounted. Words are hard.
Like a bandolier, sort of?
Scabbard.
Scabbard.
So he would have had his quiver and the scabbard mounted side by side along his back. Hey, Hogan. There is a very ornate longsword. The longsword has a ruby embossed in the center of the crossguard, and it's in the shape of a large drop of blood. The sword itself has a nasty vibe. Yeah.
Yeah. I will.
Does-
I won't touch the sword itself, but I will unclasp the what's the thing? Satchel, bandolier, the thing.
The scabbard,
The scabbard, and I will throw it to the other side of the room just
yeah.
to see.
It would be noted she'd had already removed it. It's not currently on him. It would be in a small pile next to the bed. But if you want to separate him from it as much as possible, you can. Yeah.
Yeah.
It does not appear to have any material difference on his well-being, however.
Can I message him again?
Sure.
And be like, they said you stole something. What did you steal?
You hear back, power.
What kind of power?
The response is faint, and it sounds like he is fading. Like his ability to hear you is dropping away. And he says, Titan's power was a lie.
He says he stole power, but it's Titan's power is a lie. I don't think he's going to be able to keep whispering back.
Okay.
That's weird. How do you steal power?
If can I roll like a check of some kind to see if I can remember whether there's an amaranthine that's associated with either blood or trickery or both?
You certainly can.
We know of one.
You actually, it would not even be a particularly high check. You were raised by a priestess. Yeah, make a history. Or Arcana if it's better.
Could I do religion?
Yep.
Awesome. Because somehow I have better religion. 19.
19.
Very nice.
Kren is the answer. Yeah, Kren is the god of trickery. Hath has an element of sort of mischief as well. So does children. So Luma and Mapach, but Kren, the goddess of the of the Vulpin, is the trickster god, the Loki of this setting.
Okay, I think.
And actually, Loki would be a good facsimile.
Okay,
not
gotcha.
evil, just tricksty, and often problematic.
Gotcha. I think in that case, if Kiki repeats what he's saying out loud, I think that Kingsley will look up towards. I can't remember her name. There are so many vowels. Aloni, thank you. We'll look towards
It's
Aloni
a lot of vowels.
and just. That sounds like Kren. If he was tricked into taking something, but it wasn't what he thought.
Many of those looking for this man are Vulpin. And I don't like to be racist, but I'm gonna be.
Yeah, that's what sounds.
She's your granny, Josh.
No, it's not like that. But it's like a lot of there is a fairly it's if you were going to assume, and you would be right to do so, most members of each species do give at least some fealty to the amaranthine of their own species. Even the ones who are clerics of a different amaranthine would still give honor to their own. It's a genetics thing. Yeah. If you were going to say how many are what if you were going to say, hey, I want to imagine a priest of Altus, you would probably imagine a Strigg.
Yeah, and we've run into a lot of Vulpin, right?
You've met about a third of the people you've seen have been Vulpin.
It's like guessing where the Pope's from. Italian is a solid guess.
Yeah.
If you pulled it out during the fight earlier, I think Kingsley will actually, but we still don't know where it came from, so I don't know if I'd question it.
It was out for less than 2 seconds as well, that dagger.
No, I won't say anything then.
Yeah.
I have a theory about it though. Out of character.
Yeah.
Well, that would mean that...
It makes sense, that's something Kren would do, pretend to be a different god, and Yeah.
Well, I
That's
think he's struggling. If we don't have a way to help him now, we should probably drag him back to our place as fast as we can.
Should get
Mhm.
Think we could get him back past all of those coming?
Well,
So
3 of
ones
them are in
with-
the ocean.
That's true. You think you,
you
can
don't- you
push
don't
the
have-
others in as well?
I don't want to.
there's not like a secret lighthouse tunnel out of here, is there?
I have a suggestion.
Ooh.
I know a ritual that would let you go into his dream.
Oh,
Do you think we?
If you could go in and pull him out. I can't. I'm the one doing the magic. I cannot go.
but we're
And
like-
I won't send you if you don't want to. But you are very brave and surprisingly resourceful. I am impressed.
So we would be inside his head?
Yes. I don't think you can get hurt in there, which is the only reason I am suggesting it. Otherwise, your mistress would be very displeased with me.
Yeah.
Can I roll a brief insight check?
You certainly
Not
can.
I don't suspect her of being like, what is it,
Evil.
bad or evil or anything. More what I'm wondering is, I'm wondering whether I can get a gauge of, is this why she actually like came to see
Oh, sure. Yeah.
the priestess and like ask us about this? Like, I'm trying to gauge, like, was she angling
You
for this
can,
the whole
yep.
time or not? 14.
14, no.
Ooh.
Not at all.
Okay.
Because a couple of factors come sort of to mind. Firstly, she didn't know that the priestess would send the 4 of you to her. Secondly, she didn't know that they had found her lighthouse yet.
True. Okay. Cool.
It seemed very much that her surprise when she heard her alarm rock go was very real.
Yeah. Cool. No worries.
Well,
Do you reckon
I
we
don't,
can do
I don't,
this?
I can't speak for anyone else, but I am so up for being put into a dream.
I don't know if we... Can we get stuck there? This sounds a bit like trained professionals should be doing this.
Come on, Bron.
Think of the
even
stories, though.
I wouldn't
if the
make anybody
professionals
do
can do it,
anything.
we don't
We
have
can
to.
tell the other kids.
Yeah.
They'll think we're so cool.
bragging rights.
And also, we can't wait. Like, how will a professional come here, you know?
Yeah, that's true. We've got no time.
How many professional mind adventurers do you know?
We'll be the first, actually.
Maybe we can be the first.
Hello, and he goes like, oh no. But they're not here today.
Okay, Bron,
we
you
just gotta
don't
be
have
careful,
to go
that's
with
all.
us.
No,
if you don't want to.
We should go. We should go. Right?
Should-
Okay.
Yeah, we've got to
Should
be
we
careful, I
maybe-
guess.
Will we?
Should we maybe take a moment to rest first? If we've all just come in from the wind and rain,
Yeah.
it might
Pick
be
up
an
my
idea to
hand axes
recuperate
from
before
outside.
we
Wait,
delve in.
the bard asks for short rest.
It will take.
But she beat me to the punch.
The monk doesn't want one either.
I was gonna say, also the superiority die, I think, come back, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, there's a lot of good reasons. Bardic Inspiration, do they recharge on a short? I don't know.
They do when you hit level 5, but I'm only level 3, so...
Ah, bugger.
And those are all in Bard.
2 levels short.
Yeah, disappointing. Cool. Aloani says, well, it will take me a little while to prepare the ritual. You rest. Here, there is some food downstairs if you are hungry. I don't know how...
Yeah.
The food at the Rosehip Tea House is very good, but it's mostly snacks. So yeah, you raid her pantry while she sets up.
Also, Bron's gonna pick up his hand axes that he threw.
Yeah, I assumed
They
you did
haven't
that
fallen off
before
the
you
cliff.
left.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
you,
gonna
you moved a
get a
good
bard
distance
spell
from
back.
that place. You regain a bard spell slot, and Kiki gets back her key points. Key
I
points.
don't get my bardic inspiration, though, unfortunately.
Point.
Don't know if that was deliberate, but it's excellent.
It fucking wasn't. I'm just nailing
Very
it with
good.
these accidental kind of things.
Very well. So yeah, you have a short rest and reconvene. And Aloani,
Were we quickly disappear?
No. She says, what you do, you will be lying down, I think probably for the best, next to him. Probably a circle around him. Her bed is in the center of the room, and so she can work around him. And she has the look of somebody who is nervous, not because they don't know what they're doing, but because of who they're doing it to.
It's like, this ritual's definitely gonna work. Oh god, I'm casting it over the teens.
Can't believe I am doing this, but this is needs must as the Amaranthine drives. Yeah. She gestures for you all to have a seat, and then she begins singing an incantation. After several minutes of chanting, you feel your body start to lighten and your eyelids start to close. Starting from your fingertips and spreading upwards. As it does, your bodies become... It feels like you become translucent and filled with colors like ink drops swirling in water. Then your vision stretches and you feel your now incorporeal forms being pulled towards the Seahawk's body. And the last thing you see is Arloane bowing slightly and saying, "Thank you. Good luck," in a distant voice. And then it all goes black and silent. And I think we'll leave it there.
That's
Saw that
cool.
coming. That's dope.
There you are, off to the spirit world, yes.
What a good sesh.
Exciting.
It was
Amazing.
good. Thank you very much, guys. That was great.
All of you.
The sword's name wasn't Flesh Ripper. No, it's I will tell you what it's called. It is the long sword of life stealing.
Ooh.
Good.
Oh, I
That's
knew the sword
powerful.
was fucking connected. We just don't have the.
It's not nice.
So good.
Yeah.
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 He's attuned to it still, so he's still fucked,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Well, guys, thank you very much for playing with me this evening. That was good fun. I hope you enjoyed.
Absolutely.
Let us do what we love to do at the end of our streams, our favorite moments, where we go around the room and
There's
tell
time
each
for
other
full
what a
favourite
good idea we did. And yes, there is absolutely time for a full favorite moments tonight. Who would like to go first? Let's roll a d5 in chat to see who gets to go first. Exclamation mark, roll space, the number 5. Fave not knows candy tea. Tony rolls a 1. Oh, Tony, you got me. Favorite
Nice one,
DM
Tony.
moment. Whoa.
Nice. DM first.
So
Fuck 'em
many. Okay. Can I just say I loved the introduction, the first scene. I love it. Yeah. I knew it, so I had to speak up perfectly. But yeah, listen, like I like when DMs don't feel the constraint of only narrating what the players can see. It's such a fun tool to actually like do it as like a cutscene or something where something is happening, even if the player characters don't know, the players do, and that creates the atmosphere, that creates like the setup. So that was beautiful.
Thank you.
I really loved the different characters and how they kind of like interacted, like the lovely lighthouse keeper and then the mistress and then the dude from the tea house. I love them all and I want to be friends with them.
I really liked the way that, because there's a couple of levels going on here at the tea house. There's like teenagers trying to be good, but not, and like getting their friends to chug tea, and like, so on one level there's the character trying to kind of keep everything going well, but then also there's the DM trying to get the moot story going, and there's like a couple of competing priorities going on at once, and I think you handled like all of them really well. We didn't feel like handling it. It was just like, cool, this is a story and
You didn't feel rushed through that bit.
yeah,
No.
yeah, or like directed anywhere. Things just kind of organically happened. It's great.
Yeah. Hey,
Absolutely.
Jack. Good to see you, mate.
And I mean, I feel like I compliment you on this every time I'm here, but your ability to yes and the most ridiculous shit is always a sight to behold, but I think the one that like got me tonight that I really enjoyed was the response to the message, because I don't know whether you had that as like a planned mechanic, but I was assuming you didn't from the way that you reacted. And the ability, like, as much as like sort of, yes, like rolling with the punches and all the funny stuff was also incredible. It was such a cool moment to see the clever idea pay off and you to be like, yeah, absolutely, like, and find a way to work that in to then giving us a reason to follow it. That was so good.
Like, had you decided that was going to work before the session?
So this is a published module. Or not yet published module, but this is in Humblewood Tales. This is the third adventure in Humblewood Tales, the Seahawk. I have modified the fuck out of it because it is aimed at characters of, I think, 6th level. These ones are 3rd, and I'm like, no, I reckon they can manage it. Like, there are 3 fights between the shore and the lighthouse. You did 2 of them, and I let you skill check past 1 of them. For example, and also knocking a pair of berserkers off the thing. Yeah. So yeah, there's that. But it does specify that you could theoretically wake the Seahawk up a little bit to ask him questions. And he has that one phrase, I'm so sorry, please help. If you cast Lesser Restoration or Cure Wounds on him. But I kind of love that you didn't do either of those things, because Arloani can do that, and has presumably already. So it doesn't really make sense that it would work when you do it. So finding another solution, finding a different way, I was like, no, that would totally fucking work. Goes into his head, not into his ear. I loved it, so I was like, fine, you get that. And then when you continue talking to him, I'm like, I can't allow you to have too much information, but... I did like the follow-up questions, and I'm like, this is linked in a little bit with other stuff that's going on in the world, so we can give you a little bit more information. And my favorite meme moment was linking in, it's not Titan, it's Cran guys, which Julio and Kesh will become much more involved with later on. Interesting. And I loved making that part of it. What's great is the adventure fits so neatly into it. I basically just changed out about 1/3 of all the enemies for non-Vulpins. But other than that, everything's the same. There's even a fucking Vulpin cult in this. Someone's like, perfect.
Yep, perfect.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to say it out loud. I mentioned earlier I have a theory, but I reckon that Shadow Dagger, you know how you tried to swing? I don't think it doesn't hurt him. I'm pretty sure it's just an illusion.
Ooh.
Because particularly if it came from Kren, it would make total sense for the guy to just be like, hey, this is a bargaining chip, and hands you the magic knife of doesn't hurt anyone.
That's interesting. My idea is that it may be a weapon that is designed for being used in the spirit world. Like, it's not like connected with material stuff, but can fuck you up inside there. We shall see.
See, my theory was that it can't hurt like a worshipper of Kren.
That could also apply.
That was like when you stabbed him and it didn't work. I'm like, oh shit, he doesn't mind giving it to you.
Because like they manufacture.
They worship this guy, so it's not going to hurt them.
Yeah, I'll tell you for free. Karen's right. But
There you go. Okay,
but I did really like both of the other explanations.
Valid.
And Southern Skies says the stream title, for he is an orphan boy. Yes, which is a reference to
Pirates of Penzance.
Pirates of Penzance, exactly. For he is an orphan boy, he is hurrah for the orphan boy. And don't worry, I have 2 more where that came from, so every title of this 3-shot will be Pirates of Penzance themed.
Yes.
I think it's only fair that Josh now put a picture of himself as the Pirate King in the Discord. Just saying.
I'm pretty sure one is already up there of me, but I will find one and put one up. Yeah, sure. I have no shame about that. I'm very proud of that role. I've got the full video of it. Alrighty, well, that's enough flattering of me. Let's go and flatter somebody else. A D4 in chat, please. Southern Skies, if you wouldn't mind. Exclamation mark, roll space the number 4 to choose between my lovely players. Getting Arcanist RPG vibes. Ooh, a 4 from Shanahos and a 4 for... a 2 and a 2. Okay, now that's fine, Shanna. So we will have a 2, which is Bron, and then of the 3 remaining, we will have a 2, which is Kiki. So Bron first, then Karen. Alrighty, let's talk about favorite Bron moments. I can go first, but I don't have to. But I will.
I have one very much ready.
I will go. John, I really love the distinction. I really love how you have changed Bron, how you have made him make sense as a teenager. I know some stuff about Bron that nobody else knows yet, other than John as well, which is some very cool things, and I'm loving the way it's D&D series of Pirates of Penzance.
Oh my god!
Pirates of Penzance is the exact level of sensible most D&D games are as well. Like the core
everyone
issue.
Has to sing.
Yeah, the core issue of Pirates of Penzance is that they're the most unsuccessful pirates ever because they're all orphans and they never prey on orphans. So whenever they take another ship, the entire crew just says that they're all orphans, and the pirates have to go, God damn it!
Nice.
Which is such a D&D play. Basically, just the crew of the other ship pass the deception check, and then yeah. I will not play the general. Yeah, the Major General will be very funny. But yes, I really enjoy the way John played Bron, and the way John changed Bron. And this was fascinating, and I think it's going to be really, really cool for what we see in the next couple of weeks, and then what we see when we go back to seeing older, grown-up Bron is very, very cool.
Speaking of the attitude, I loved the fucking moment of 3 of us planning, and bro's like, yeah, no, that's fine. If it goes badly, I'll chop the bridge. We'll all die. What?
Holy shit!
Damn, this kid's not fucking around.
Future Bron would never suggest that, and that's amazing.
Yeah, this is crazy. I love it.
True. The emo just.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would just trust that people would make a good plan.
Yeah,
that's what future Bron would do. Yeah.
I think, like there was a lot, and I agree very much with a lot of what Josh was saying as well. I think specifically the part that I really loved though was the fact that knowing that you don't have any levels in Artificer yet, that you're just full into fighter, but there were a few moments where it felt like you were sort of seeding things, like the sort of thought when we were talking about how the Seahawk wound up there, and you were like, oh, maybe it was a giant slingshot. And I know that it was like a funny idea, but it also very much rang true to me of just like the inventor brain kind of ticking in the background of just like just, it's out there, but it's like, yeah, what if someone had done this? And like just the thought process being there, even though it's not as focused yet, was such a cool little like Easter egg.
Oh, good. Yeah, I wasn't sure if I was pitching that right. So yes, I'm glad to hear that I was.
Yes. No, absolutely.
Yeah, the Artificer vibes are there, even though the ability is not yet.
Mm-hmm. Not yet. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I had 2. Telling Kiki to chug the tea.
Yeah.
That was fucking priceless. But also trying to charm the guard when things started going sideways. Because I'm just like, why didn't we fucking lead with that?
Because it works on one of them.
This is true.
And also, yeah, you guys had a very good plan really quickly where you were going to do 2 Jerbeens in a trench coat.
Yeah.
And it worked.
And it worked better than the charm did.
It worked way better than it had any right to.
The dice wanted it. The dice wanted that to happen.
The dice agreed,
the dice know. They always do.
They absolutely did.
Yeah, I think the suggesting chugging the tea was my favorite as well. Just a combination of like, this is what a teenager 100% would suggest, and it's also 100% what a teenager would just go, yeah, all right, I'll do that.
Yeah, sure, I'll chug it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fun and funny, and I think it was a moment to solidify the difference, because again, adult Bron would not say that. But because of this very incident.
Yeah.
He learned a valuable lesson that day.
My favorite group moment was, and I'm going to include myself in it as well, giving you guys the opportunity to, like, the whole point of the tea house scene was to let you establish who these people were in a really organic way. But my favorite group moment for you guys was how you did that. And my favorite of the bits of Bron from that was definitely the manner in which he relayed the good deed that he did. That he was like, it was nothing. Like, he downplayed it so much, and he was like, the way I know he did it was very much just stay the fuck away from him. I'm watching all of you. But yeah, it was nice. It was so not older Bron, but so young Bron. Yeah.
Yay, cool. Thank you.
And it established him really fast. It was, each of you had at least one moment in that scene where we're like, okay, I know exactly who this person is. Yeah.
It just occurs to me, I don't think we've done self for either of you guys, have we?
We did.
Yeah.
John just said it.
Okay, never mind.
And I very much
Maybe
did,
I'm
I promise.
hallucinating.
I just doubled up on Karen's.
Yeah. Karen. We're now doing Karen moments. Cool. Let's talk favorite Karen moments. Trying to remember
So
what...
many. Oh, immediately, just crossing the bridge. Oh my god.
I will
So
spit on your ancestors.
Yeah. Again, like, really good way of not establishing character, I guess, because that was done in the tea house stuff, but just expanding on it. And that your character has this in their repertoire to just whip out at a moment's notice was like, yeah, that's hilarious and furthered the story and developed character was just, yeah, great.
That was very fun.
Oh, Tony, is that the Kevin Kline version? Because it's dope. It's such a lovely film. The movie adaptation of Pirates of Penzance. I'm pretty confident the Kevin Kline, if it's that one, the Kevin Kline one is the one I based my Pirate King off. And it's so good.
What was the other one? Because the Kevin Kline
John
one.
English one.
The John English one.
I grew up on a recording of the stage show of that. That was, I think, one of the big reasons I became a performer. I love it so much.
And I think the John English one was the Pirates of the Caribbean one, as I recall.
No.
No? Okay.
No, that was another one.
Would have been later. Yeah,
The Johnny English one is the one where he has the plunging shirt that he keeps pulling open. That's the Johnny English one. He has like...
And it was done on a massive catwalk. There was a massive catwalk across in front of the orchestra.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and he had a fight with the conductor. Yes.
Yes! During the Pirate King song,
What are you guys talking about?
It wasn't me. It was a musician. Oh, wait, no, sorry, it was the drummer.
Yeah.
Yes, there is an Opera Australia version where it is Jack Sparrow.
Jack Sparrow, yeah.
That one was a different one.
Yeah.
The purple pants, yes. Dear Pirate King, I love your purple
Yeah, there's
pants.
there's 1983, 1994, which is Purple Pants Johnny English.
John English,
And
not Johnny English.
I can't work out what year the most recent one was.
So what you don't know is that John, Karen, and I are all massive theatre nerds. That's where we all met.
What? You could never have told.
It's never been mentioned before. Sure. Let us continue talking about how great Karen is, not about how much we all love Pirates of Penzance.
Yep.
Yeah.
One thing that I enjoyed about Kiki, well, aside from the beautiful scene on the bridge, obviously, because that was amazing, but I also liked that Kiki was like off the bat immediately, like Karen does, using props with the pan flute. I was like, oh, she brought it back immediately. It was like so good.
Yeah.
It was very cute.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I really liked, I think, the way that you presented like scrappiness of like the urchin side of things, specifically through the lens of like still being a kid, because like obviously, you know, you knew how to fight, you were capable of it, and you had like your whole like back city streets and stuff like that, but it felt like so it felt like when you had the moments where you were like the let's do get help and stuff like that, it was like very much, it's like not a bad idea and it's in the right direction, but there's very much that element of like it's a kid being like, you know, yeah, no, I've got it, I figured it out, and like the sort of certainty around that. I don't know, it's the way that they meshed, I thought, painted a very vivid image.
Yeah.
In my head canon, Kiki is a couple of years younger than Julio, so is slightly less mature again.
Yeah. I loved your tea. I thought it was
I kind of
really...
want to make it.
Yeah, I thought it was really characterful. It was really character establishing. I also loved your... because your first instinct was to like stop washing from blowing away, but that got nixed. So, yeah.
Well, it was some papers in my story.
But responding, but then improving out, teaching someone to play the panpipes because they were sad.
I like that better.
Yeah, that was much cuter. Yeah.
Yeah, we could talk about Gilbert and Sullivan for a while.
Yeah. I've directed that play, as well as performed the Pirate King role in it. Yeah. Cool. Karen, favorite self moment?
Oh, like the tea was great. I was actually like, tea was great. The bridge was great. I had a lot of fun playing Kiki. I don't normally play charismatic characters, which I tried to change with Kiki. I'm like, she's going to be charismatic because my character's never charismatic. And like I was like reading like the backstory of like Loomis, and they're like, you know, a bit chaotic and kind of unpredictable. And I was just like, okay, I'm going to try and channel that. So, which was fun because it meant basically if I had a slightly wacky idea, I could go for it. But I was actually really proud of fucking using message at the end.
Yeah.
Because like I basically, when I was making the character, because for those of you who haven't watched of like the other Humblewood story in the present day, is a running joke that we just don't have message. It's repeatedly inconvenient that no one has message. So when I opened the cantrip list, because you get one cantrip, and I saw message and I was like,
I must.
I must take message.
Just to rip the shit out of Daria for no other reason.
And I hadn't had a chance to use it the whole session. And I was like, I don't want to just tell Daria I have message. I want to show her I have message.
Perfectly.
And then when he was dreaming,
we
I'm
need
like...
to invite you to a wedding at some point in the game.
I was like...
Oh my god.
I wasn't expecting it to work. At least I wasn't expecting him to be able to talk back. I was expecting him to be able to hear me, maybe. So I'm stoked that worked as well as it did. That was really satisfying. Oh, and beating the shit out of that guy. That was great.
Yes.
I like being a monk. I may be addicted to monks.
Monks
now.
are so much fun.
Yeah,
they are very
Yes.
good.
Just punching
monks
all
are
the time.
interesting. Like they are really good at low level. They are quite good at high level, but at mid level they are very mid. This is the thing. They sort of plateau and then they get better again. But yeah, there's a lot of levels in the middle where they're not that great. But yeah, third level monk in a third level party is pretty boss.
I just can keep punching people. This is great.
Let us have a D2 in chat, please. To pick between Julio and Kingsley. I actually had a line in there that I didn't say from Mistress Iskander, who said, and no fighting along the way. I'm looking at you, Julio. Kiki. We have
us getting a fight.
a 1 for Daria and then a 2 to Kingsley. Very well, we'll be doing Daria first. So, favorite Dario moments? Gotta be big dick energy coming in at the very beginning.
My cock is immeasurable.
My cock is immeasurable.
Just
incredible. It was such a way to set the tone.
And I'm actually not going to call that my favorite moment. That's everyone's favorite moment. So it's not actually fair, and I think none of us can have it. So I'm trying to remember, who was it? Was it Julio or Kingsley that said, "Get on my shoulders"? Or was it Julio who said, "If I get on your shoulders"?
Julio suggested it, and I was like,
yeah.
But to be fair, I liked how Kingsley, Zach described Kingsley, like, he's still leaning, but his face is transforming the more he hears of the plan. That was very good.
So I'm going to say
that was my Kingsley moment.
I'm going to say my favorite Julio moment was that plan. Was the 2 raccoons in a trench coat idea was excellent. Yeah. I've never seen it actually done in D&D before, and I was so happy.
And it works!
Yeah.
It works!
Because it's such a ludicrous idea, nobody would ever suspect it.
I think my favorite moment was earlier on, just the fact that Julio was like, right, cool, there are people looking for us. I'm going to walk up to them and be like, hey, what are you looking for? Just amazing. Like, cool. I, as a player, would never have thought of that. And the characters I play would never have thought of that. So it was just, I was just sitting there like, oh, that's a really cool idea. I really loved that whole, it was great. And developed your character, as one with bravado and like swagger.
And I absolutely loved the save as you went in, almost immediately wound up in over your head as he was like, "Show me where it is,"
cool, come with
and
me.
immediately defaulted to like the street, because I think you approached him and said like, "A street urchin can help you out," and then immediately was like, "Oh, I'm not really a street urchin. My mum and dad said I shouldn't."
I was just trying to act tough, but
I love that
I
so
actually
much.
have to be home in the next 20 minutes.
Curfew, and everything's very weird out here at night at the moment. Yeah.
It was such a good moment though. Like, it was very cool. Because I think, again, it's that same case with with Bron as well, where it's like you can see bits of who that character is going to become, but they feel like a different person.
Yeah, very much so.
And that's awesome.
This character is 1/3 of their age as we've seen them later. Yeah.
I did enjoy whipping out the magical dagger when we didn't have a fight as well. Like, didn't work, but I like, in my head I was like, oh, please whip out, the magical dagger. Stab him with his own dagger. And like, you did exactly what I wanted you to do, which was stab him with the magical dagger.
I was really glad, because I was like, this isn't gonna work. So it kind of makes sense that you missed. Like, it was nice to be able to give you something even though you didn't hit.
I did hit once in that battle, by the way.
You rolled very badly, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was stealing all the good rolls in the fight.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. Listen, I had my good rolls when I was doing the dumb stick of 2 kids on each other's shoulders. I'm good. This is all I wanted from the session.
Yeah, I love that I nat 20'd my act like a moron on a bridge check. But not my sculling tea.
We have seen the impetus for all 3 of the characters that we've seen adult versions of secondary character traits. Like, we've seen the impetus for Bron's Artificer. Like, we've seen Kingsley's secretiveness about their totally just bard. We have seen Julio's enjoyment of pretending to be something he isn't, and dressing up in costumes.
Yeah. To that point, my favorite me moment was like, no.
Oh no! What I didn't want to happen happened. No.
How terrible!
Yeah, because his charisma is still like not as good as it will be in the future.
Yeah.
And he has that like confidence to try, but he's not very good yet. So like playing that is very fun.
Yeah. Excellent.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Tony says, very Sheldon Cooper moment. I'm not crazy, my mother had me tested. Alrighty. And favourite Kingsley moment, last of all.
Oh, so many. I think for sure, the way, like I already said it, but I'll say it again, the way Kingsley reacted to his fellow kids being dumb as rocks in planning, and he's like, I'm not gonna say that they're dumb, but if I have the opportunity to fix it in the future, I will. And that leads into like the sleep. I've never seen sleep actually be effective in a D&D. I played so many campaigns, not one sleep actually turned the tide. Because usually either you don't like roll high enough because everyone has higher hit points, or like there are some other people and you'll like see like, okay, you just cast a sleep with him. I'm gonna go wake him up. You know? Yeah. So the fact that it worked and the fact that the DM actually helped it like get to it. That was beautiful, beautiful combination. It was like
cool moment. Yeah.
I liked that you just yeeted two guys over a cliff to your death. It was just like, I'm just gonna tuck that trauma away to deal with later.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like, I'm gonna have a small emotional breakdown, but not right now.
Later.
My favorite Zach moment actually happened before the stream, because we were discussing how he's totally just a bard, and I really enjoy how we're making that work, and because it in both cases, him and Bron, it allowed me to give him a little bit more information. Like Bron has there was a moment in it where I was able to give Bron something else because of stuff that isn't. Not everybody's aware of, but I could be wrong. I might be thinking.
I think you said no another time.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, that was it. Yeah. Yeah. Because of what had happened. Yeah. Because of backstory you'd come up with. I was able to give you a little bit more information. And Kingsley has a similar thing that you don't know yet. But I really enjoyed for a moment the in session the shh. Before you Eldritch Blast, that is a bard spell. Yeah. Even though there was no danger of her knowing what it is or whether or not it's a warlock thing or whatever. Yeah, that was very funny. I really enjoyed it.
Accidentally giving away that what you were doing was sus.
Yeah, while none of your friends were looking.
Look, yeah. I think my favorite moment, it kind of was the Kingsley moment. Kind of a player moment was I can talk to your beetle.
Yes.
Yeah, that was funny.
It hasn't happened in the world, but I just yes, very much love that image of Kingsley just being like, hey, what's up? But like not telling anyone that he can talk to the beetle, but just having that knowledge. Yeah, it was a little detail that I liked it a lot.
Yeah, Southern Skies, I've seen sleep being used. Beryl uses sleep quite a lot and quite effectively. The trick is, most classes that have sleep also have access to spells that do damage for the same cost. So why not just hurt people? It'll either be enough damage to knock out a whole bunch of people if they're not very healthy, in which case just shatter, or or it's enough to take down exactly one person, normally the weakest person, well, always the weakest person, which could often be an ally if you're not careful, and I've seen that happen too. It's difficult to use in a way that isn't meta as fuck, which is why I gave Kingsley the boost he needed, because it was a bold choice to use something that he wasn't in any way confident would actually succeed, and I was like, he came pretty damn close.
I figured it was gonna fail.
But 100%. It was a really nice move. It was a bold choice to use a very limited expendable to do, and I thought I was going to reward it. Yeah,
The hustle.
yeah, absolutely.
Also, I have a second Kingsley moment. Well, it's more of a player moment. It's more of a Zach moment. Player secrets in D&D are often very difficult to make work, because either you come off as an asshole, like, no, I work alone, I don't want to talk about it, or you like have to just like give it up because the party senses something and like, what the fuck is that, you know? But I think it's very nice that Zach is like capable of doing it very tongue in cheek. Like that's clearly a secret, but it's not becoming like the cornerstone of his personality. And also he's like has like humor about it. So we as a party are not like left in the dust where only the DM and the player are talking about something.
Yeah.
Like it's a nice balance of how to make it work without being like a stick in the mud, which is very good.
Thank you. I appreciate that because I was specifically concerned about it.
Okay, you're doing very good.
No,
Thank you.
it's the right balance.
I think self moment. I really enjoyed making the tea because I think it was very interesting. I think again I can't say too much specifics, but like I think it's interesting because the whole not a lot of substance but a lot of flair. The whole point of the tea being that you don't really drink it, you just make it and everyone in the room knows that you've made it. Feels very on brand for Kingsley, and I think feels very what's the word, like it's what he wants to be, which is a very strange kind of aspiration to have, but it made sense after the fact, so I was like, I enjoyed it. It was fun.
Hell yeah.
Everyone's tea felt very apt.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to go make everyone a tea.
Bronze has sand in it.
Yeah, actually,
Look, we can
Little
boil
rocks,
the sand.
little tiny
first.
rocks.
Rock salt, thank you.
Oh, that's actually good. Caramel,
salty tea.
bits of salt.
Oh, salted caramel.
In the future, like Bronze, like what is it? He's got what's the name for the artificer thing? They're like infusions.
Yeah.
But just on a more literal level, he's just got a bunch of rocks on a windowsill. Just gets a cup of water, drops a rock in it for 5 minutes, pulls it out.
Yeah.
This is one of my
Very
infusions. What? Oh, I see.
Actually, speaking of tea, I really like the idea of like family blends. Did you come up with that? 'Cause
That
it's
was really
good.
cool.
Oh,
I'm gonna yoink
That's
that
amazing.
actually. I'm gonna take that
that's
later.
not from
'cause
the
that's a
adventure.
good
That was
idea.
awesome. that
Oh
was
yeah,
such a
and
cool
like as a
moment.
coming of age ceremony thing, I was like,
Yep.
that actually made
And
Bron
it-
went into that mopey and was immediately kind of like, this is cool. I like this.
And the fact that we were all orphans, we don't have families, so we get to
Like,
create our own
it
family
was-
blend.
It was
Oh.
so much world building in such a small segment without having
Felt
to go
very
that deep
believable.
into it. You immediately explained a good chunk of what our characters were about, explained a lot about the way the society works, explained a relationship between the priestess and the tea master as well. Like there was so much that was just, you didn't say any of it, but it all just kind of,
It was all
here's a
there.
bunch of stuff, you
Very
understand where you are now, let's get into the adventure. It was really, really
Made
cool.
the place so believable and real, and to that point as well, not to give more praise to Josh, but
You know how I am.
I like the I liked when the priestess, the lady of the house, you have responsibility, you have your choices now. I loved that. That was such a neat touch because like when we originally discussed where Julio came from, I was like, yeah, he's an orphan. There's like an orphan like mistress there, but you made her, which is a great thing when the DM is like, aha, I can make this cool now. It's so good.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well,
Just
thank
jumping
you.
back to Kingsley for a sec.
Okay,
I did enjoy him like bodying that dude off the bridge with Julio on his shoulder.
I'm just so glad that worked. I definitely needed the advantage because realizing after the fact, like, oh, that's a berserker who actually has strength and probably proficiency, and I've got a +1.
I rolled very, very badly.
The fact that our plan worked actually was crazy.
It's
was
absurd.
wild.
Yeah, had no right to. I loved it. Alrighty, well, we will go away from here because my internet is being very. So we will, we will go and raid somebody else. But before we go, let us just talk about these wonderful beans. Zach, who the heck are you?
I'm Zach, or Renegade Chicken, or Kingsley, and I'm very, very excited for next week. And in spite of comments I made earlier, I accidentally inspired myself, so I might have to write a new bard subclass in the next week. So
Lord. Yes.
I am going to see if I can work out how a College of Mystery would work.
That's interesting.
Ooh, love
See
it.
how that goes.
Karen, who the heck are you?
I'm Karen, sometimes known as the mother of bunnies, performer, writer, internet addict, new discoverer of how great being a monk is. Yeah, you can find me here. I play a lot of Baldur's Gate 3 lately, but that's fine. And yeah, we'll be back next week for more of this, and I am super excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was a
Buy
valid
some
use
weird
of our
tea
time.
ingredients.
Bron, John, who the heck are you?
I'm John. Go by McBestington in the chat. I've been a performer for 15 years. I've known these guys pretty close to that. And yeah, enjoying playing a moody, mopey teenager.
John, it's 18 years.
That's. Sorry?
It's 18 years we've known each other. We met in 2006.
Shit. Our relationship's old enough to drink.
Damn.
And vote.
Yeah.
I don't know if it can be trusted with that level of responsibility.
You and Karen met in 2006. I met you both in 2007.
Sorry, because you got it right there. I've been performing for 20 years. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah. So on that fun note,
I have earned every grey in my beard. I'm fine with it. Daria, who the heck are you?
My name is Daria. I do not have 20 years of performance experience, but I am a bit
20 months.
I'm an artist. True. I do art, and I'm commissionable. If you're looking for a D&D portrait or some other shit, I can do that.
Pretty good.
Yeah, and what else can I say? My cock is still gigantic.
Immeasurable.
Immeasurable, so true.
Yeah.
why that would have changed
Unfathomable.
over the course of the night.
It's
I don't
definitely
know.
without fathom.
That's true.
So many fathoms.
Yes, Tony, let us say I would agree with that. A Kodiak bear would be I would say, yeah, Gazoos would probably be a giant fucking map patch. Yeah. Completely scrounge craft would make total sense for Gazoos as well. Cool. And mesdames et messieurs, Damen und Herren, and beings of indeterminate gender and persuasion, I be Josh the Pirate. You can find me here on my channel Corsair's Cove, where I run D&D like this. But you know that, because you've done it already. You've joined us, you've come, you've been, you've had, and it was lovely. 20 fathoms the rope ran out. Yes. Yeah. But there's still plenty of cock. Yeah, I will be back next week to have a look at some one-page RPGs and play some Baldur's Gate with Karen. And I was thinking, when Karen plays Baldur's Gate, I might paint the mini of the Seahawk. This is the Seahawk. That's what he looks like. I have 3D printed him, so now I need to paint him. And I think that would be a good thing to do when I watch Karen play Baldur's Gate and I shitpost. Other than that, you can check us all out on our Discord, where you can ask us any questions you may have. You can check out Zach's maybe homebrews if he wants to put it up there.
Yes, I just need to find out what channel to put it in.
Hung, Drawn, and Quartered will be the place to put it, or Artsy Creations, either one. We have all the exclamation mark socials. And if you want to check out any of our short form content or any episodes you may have missed, you can check out our YouTube links as well. We have a shorts and a longs. The Corsair's Cove longs videos is where the VOD for this will go, and the shorts contain all of our Conan reviews, and I will be re-uploading with some modifications all of the multi-classes you may not have considered with Yusuf. So it's basically puppets doing D&D shit. Yeah, you can check those out there. The people of Gaza Gaza are having it a bit rough right now. If you have any spare pennies in your digital wallet, please consider heading on over to the Save the Children link there. And if you don't have any spare pennies, it's absolutely fine. But if you wouldn't mind signing the Gaza Crisis Petition, which is to the Australian government to make sure or to try and convince them to increase political pressure to bring an end to the crisis, and also allow them to get aid flowing back into Gaza, because they are out of hospitals, shit out of hospitals in Gaza at this point. There aren't any left. That's not good. And the Ukrainian people are also having a bit of a rough time of it. So, any of those things, all of those things, if you wouldn't mind chucking your charity pennies that way, good on you, you bloody champions. We are supported by the wonderful folks at Wooten Forge. Check out their glorious work at wootenforge.com/Corsairs Cove. Things like this beautiful Jarrah dice keeper, or this really cool it's a little Jarrah box, and inside of it is a Corsairs Cove coin, or a D2, regardless of what you want to call it, and they're rather fun. We are also supported by Troll Lord Games, TLG, that's RLG, I can spell TLG, Troll Lord Games, they have a really cool. It's Gary Gygax's original world-building guide. They are re-releasing it. So you can check it out on their Kickstarter right now. Heartily suggest you do. I'm considering backing it my own self, because Gary Gygax, for those who don't know, is the guy who invented D&D, basically. So, yeah, that'll be pretty neat. Check out all of their stuff over at trolllore.com. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us this evening. We are going to go and raid somebody, and seeing as the Eldritch Scribe are currently streaming, we will drop a raid over on them. So throw your favorite raid emotes up in chat, tell Des and Raph where you came from, show them the love like we always do, and we will see you same bat time, same bat channel on probably Tuesday night for some more Baldur's Gate. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Whee!